Counting you down to kickoff here at Campbell Field. 5 minutes till we tee it up. Corbin on at home, playing host to the Franklin County Flyers. I'm Ronnie Bowling with Jeff Barnett and Jenny Barnett in the T107 broadcast booth. The national anthem has been played. Colors are exiting the field. Again, we're 5 minutes, JB, from teeing this one up here against two top 5 teams in Class 4A. Big postseason seeding and RPI implications on the line.
Yeah, a bunch of the seedings on the line. We talked about it a minute ago. The RPI rating comes in there, and the last year the Flyers from Franklin County, runner up in the state championship. I think number 1 right now, Ronnie, is that right?
I think so.
Yeah, number 1, and then the Hounds right here at number 4. So just one of the biggest football games in the state of Kentucky.
Disrespectful, right?
Yeah, exactly. and so it's just going to be a fun football game. Look forward to a lot of head knocking, a lot of you better buckle your chin strap up for this football game tonight. So it should be just an awesome football game. Getting ready to kick off here right here in 3 or 4 minutes.
A lot of prolific playmakers on the field for both squads. Again, Corbin right now ranked 4th in Class 4A in the RPI, of course, getting a little slight there only because they played an out-of-state team.
Yes,
you play an out-of-state team, they cannot gauge RPI as accurately as they can an in-state team. So
That's
had
right.
Corbin played, let's say, a Class 4A or larger team, you'd probably look for a higher bump. But right now, that's why you play 10 games. That merits out and that medals out throughout the season. So we'll see where they end up. But the RPI will be hugely impacted by tonight's football game. Can promise and guarantee you that. The winner of this game more than likely will be playing home for all the way to Lexington.
Yes, exactly. Home field advantage, always a key when you're wanting to get to Kroger Field in Lexington. And right, the Hounds getting ready to come on the field. And, so you're right, home field advantage huge. And the Hounds 2-0 right here, want to get off to a fast start, want to control the line of scrimmage and try to win this football game tonight.
Look at, the teams on the field, Zach Claudio and Caden Mormon, as good as advertised,
Yes.
apparently. They put up gaudy numbers.
Yes.
Corbin put up some gaudy numbers on the season as well. They put up 900 yards of offense in 2 outings. It has Corbin. So you look at two teams that love to score. Sometimes you see a deadlock defensively when those
That's right.
teams take the field. Really hard to gauge. I've said all week, and people I've talked to, I have no earthly idea how this football game turns out other than it's going to be an instant classic.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of times, we look at the stats, we look at the teams they played, the two teams that played, and you can kind of dial it in a little bit. But both teams just playing lights out. And like I said a minute ago, on that collision course, even though both teams are 2-0, right here, 3rd week of the season on a collision course, and you said it right there a minute ago as well. Going to be a lot of seedings, a lot of positioning from this football game tonight. So again, you talk about the athletes out there. Number 11, the quarterback Jaden Madison, just a great quarterback, has lit it up all, so far in these 2 football games. And you got Cam Combs, I think, coming back tonight at quarterback for the Hounds. So, doing a great job as well. So should just be lights out tonight right here at Campbell Field.
Going into tonight's contest, Corbin has been running by committee. Of course, Cameron Combs was the leading rusher in week 1. Seth Mills, the leading rusher from a week ago. So Corbin definitely can spread the football around. But minute 30 till we kick it off here tonight. JB, give us keys to victory in tonight's football game for Corbin to move on to 3-0.
All right, JB, keys to the game tonight. Number 1, defensively, stop the run, stop the 1-2 punch. We've talked about it already. Quarterback Jaden Madison, running back Caden Mormon, make the Flyers one-dimensional. Number 2, offensively, Hounds need to control the game up front with the big guys, win the time of possession, be smart with the football, and no turnovers. Turnovers can, really swing that football game, so no turnovers tonight. Number 3, make things simple for Cam Combs coming back off that injury in week 1. So he played great in that first football game. So keep it that way. Stay in 3rd and manageable on offense. Don't get behind the chains. Make things easy for Cam Combs tonight. And number 4, we've talked about it already. Huge football game tonight. Hounds can establish their position in the state with this big win tonight. So light it up, put the gas pedal down, win this football game right here at Campbell Field.
Captains are at midfield. Corbin won the toss, deferred till the second half, so Franklin County will open up to receive the football to start tonight's contest. Corbin decked out in their traditional home uniforms, red tops, silver bottoms, silver helmets. Franklin County has navy bottoms, white jerseys, yellow helmets, and yellow numbers trimmed up in blue as Corbin comes through the Spirit line. Got a capacity crowd and a fired-up bunch in red. This is going to be an instant classic between two very good football teams.
Yeah, instant classic right here. I think, too, Ronnie, as well. We've talked about Jacob Baker all season long. if it's a tight football game, you know, you think about the touchbacks, you think about the field goals, you think about the coffin corner punts. Jacob Baker may come up big and show up in this football game tonight.
Absolutely. Special teams and having the football last sometimes decide these close games where teams are so evenly matched. And the field looks great tonight. I was told Dwayne Logan and his crew worked tirelessly to make this facility look what it is, and it looks just as good as Pigskin Weekend. I mean, it looks fantastic out here. Green grass.
Yeah, it looks awesome. The big red sea lit up. You know, the numbers, you know, almost like an NFL, you know, stadium look. And I tell you what, just, you know, the crew has done a great job getting this field ready. I mean, cheerleaders across the way, huge crowd. And I tell you what, you know, getting ready to kick this football game off. I'm excited as I've ever been in 4 or 5 years of calling, you know, radio on T107 right here, as I've been for a regular season football game.
Oh, that's true.
That's right, as this one is getting ready to be.
Hounds on to kick the football away. Flyers have broken the huddle back deep to receive for the Flyers. Number 10, Caden Moorman. He's their star leading rusher, heavily recruited at the Division I level. And Zach Claudio, leading receiver for the Flyers. Baker, also heavily recruited at the kicker position to kick it away for the Red Hounds. We have a capacity crowd. We've got Division I talent scouts surrounding the fences. This is a big electric atmosphere. Non-pigskin, regular season game. This is about as lit as it gets.
It is. I mean, it's so cool when you look out there and you see a guy from Tennessee sitting here right in front of us. You look across the way, you got a guy with a big blue hat on, and they're here for a reason. They're looking for the stars and the studs to come as this football game kicks off tonight.
Ball's on the tee. 12 minutes on the clock. 0-0, and we're off. Baker lines up to kick it away. He'll approach, put the toe to it. It's a high end-over-end kick, spiraling towards the end zone. Going to be fielded at the 1-yard line by Claudio. Up to the 10, hits a red wall. He's going to be buried right around the 17-yard line. Good return defense from the Red Hounds to keep him hemmed in.
Exactly, and what I noticed about that kick, too, as well, Jacob Baker doing a great job with the touchbacks, but right there really gets the ball in the air, has a lot of hang time on it, and then the Hounds fly down. Evan Poore, number 15, with a tackle, and then, you know, the best junior in the state of Kentucky ranked, number 11, Dakota Patterson, in there for the hit as well. So great job on special teams by the Hounds right out of the gate right here.
Flyers will start 1st and 10 on their own 18-yard line. Ball spotted at the middle of the field. Flyers going to open up in the shotgun. Number 11, Jalen Madison at quarterback. Moorman beside him at running back. 3 wide receivers and a wing. Handoff on the first play, probing the middle. Now he'll bounce out toward the Corbin sideline. Got the first down and got more. Trucked down right around his own 41-yard line. Pickup of over 20 on the first down carry. That's enough for first down Flyers.
Yeah, Brandon Baker right there, number 23, coming up to make the hit for the Hounds. And, you know, the Hounds have done a great job with run defense this year. And you're right there, you know, you see the running back, Caden Moorman, gash the Hounds on the first down. But, again, the Hounds have done a great job so far this season on defense.
Flyers enter the backfield on 1st and 10. Madison remains in the shotgun. 2 tight ends. Checked into the football game. Trips out to his left. High snap. Throws the rocket screen out into the flats. It's going to be caught. Going to slip a tackle, and no, he won't. Going to be drugged down at the line of scrimmage. Boy, again, you don't get out of Poore's reach. He has a great tackle radius.
Yes, he does. Evan Poore, you know, been all over the place last year and just got better this year. Evan Poore, number 15 for the Hounds, done a great job. You know, you get him in open field, he can make a tackle for you, and we saw that right there on first down, which brings up 2nd down and 10 right here for the Flyers.
2nd and 10 from the Franklin County 41-yard line. 2 running backs joining Madison in the backfield. They're both split to his left. Also a wing to his left. Unusual formation. Now he'll reset both running backs to his right. Overload a tight end and a wing to his right. Toss sweep into the heavy set. Probes through at the 40, breaks through at the 50. Got some running room, cuts back at the 30. Finally going to be tackled from behind. Joe Brown chugging him down right around the 26-yard line. Another 20-plus yard run from the Division I recruit, Caden Moorman.
Yeah, Joe Brown right there coming all the way down the field to make the tackle. But again, You see the running game of the Flyers from Franklin County and the big running back Mormon just kind of hammering away right here on the Hounds defense.
Franklin going no huddle. Quarterback keeper across the right side. Going to be hit at the line of scrimmage. Nowhere to go there. Chopped down at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, again, number 3 tackle for number 23, Brandon Baker, coming up making a hit. But, the Hounds need to dial it in. They've done a great job in the first 2 games of stopping the run, and I wouldn't think any different right here. So Hounds settle in, makes a couple adjustments up front, and get that run stopped.
2nd and 8. Madison empties the backfield again. Tight end to the right, wing to the right, trips to the left. No running backs flanking him in the backfield. He's got Mormon out wide. Closest wide receiver to him in the trips, all to the left. Ball on the right hash. Brings Mormon in motion. Handoff, fakes it, pulls it himself. Quarterback keeper on the option play. Up to the 20, going to be pounded down by a pack of Hounds. Gain of about 5 on the quarterback read option. Sets up 3rd and short.
Again, Joe Brown right there, number 54 for the Hounds, making a hit. And I notice right there, Ronnie, we've talked about in the first couple games, when you run the football against the Hounds, they're going to hit you pretty good. And right there, number 11, Jaden Madison, the quarterback, got a good hit right there.
3rd and 2. Mormon joins Madison in the backfield. 2 tight ends checked into the game. Gives the handoff, going to be hit in the backfield. Continues to fight forward. Red Surge not going to allow him to get too much further. Might have got a yard or 2. Now it's going to bring up 4th down, 1 to go.
Yeah, good job right there for the Hounds defensive front 4. Hounds tonight, again, as they normally do, start off with 4 defensive linemen in there. Got 2 D tackles, 2 D ends. Carter Sevier, looks like Joe Brown up front. Braden Reynolds in there as well. So good front 4. Brings up a 4th and 2. Big, huge play right here in this first quarter.
4th and 1. Full house backfield. Reset, got pig formation to the right. No running backs. Madison in the Wildcat, or Mormon in the Wildcat, probing the right side. Going to be close to the 1st down marker. I think he got it, but we'll wait and see on the official measurement.
Yeah, I think you're right. Looks like, I hadn't seen that set in a while, where they have the 3 backs on the pig set. And the quarterback, the quarterback Madison, just gets behind that big wall and gets it up in there for a yard or 2. But I think they're going to maybe official timeout measure this one.
Both team's going to be cleared out. It's very close to 1st down yardage, hence the measurement. Mormon would get the call. Depending on the spot, we'll see if he's able to convert on 4th down.
Yeah, tough measurement right here.
Can never tell from this
angle.
I'm
Exactly.
not even going to guess. Stretch it out. I think he's short. And he is. Red Hound defense holds on 4th down.
Wow.
First big play of the football game.
Yeah, you can almost mark that. 8:15 left in this first quarter. Almost like a turnover. Check that box. A huge defensive stand right there for the Hounds defense. And, talked about it again a minute ago. Hounds defense has done a great job on the run this season. And right there, I thought, the Hounds defense would kind of settle in, make a couple adjustments, and they did just that. Even in the pig set, which you don't see a lot, Hounds defensive line comes up, backers coming up as well, making a big hit to turn the football over. Right there.
Corbin, of course, has been a slow starter this season. Slow out of the gate at Whitley, slow out of the gate against the Christ School. Big possession here. Hounds take over 1st and 10. Cameron Combs checks into the football game at quarterback on his own 17-yard line. 4 wide receivers. Fakes the handoff, rolls to his right, fires into the flat. Got Patterson at the 30. At the 20, he's going to stagger forward up to about the 23-yard line. That's a gain of about 4 or 5 on the rocket screen. Sets up 2nd and 5.
Yeah, 2nd and 5 right there, getting it to Dakota Patterson, doing well. Hounds coming up real quick to run the kind of the hurry-up offense, but wondered how, Coach Elam and Coach Greer would do with Cameron Combs, but doing a great job so far.
Hard count from the Red Hounds. Got Flyers in the neutral zone. That's a 5 free ones. Depending on the spot, that could be enough to move the sticks and set up 1st down.
Yeah, I think so. Again, penalties always play a big factor in a football game. And just a minute ago, I was talking about Ronnie. Do you think they kind of call plays to kind of protect Cam Combs, or do they turn him loose? I see he's got that shoulder brace on his non-throwing arm. But, it looks like so far, in these first 2 plays, they're going to come out firing. So good to see Cam Combs under center doing a good job.
Combs will operate out of the shotgun on 1st and 10. Twin wide receivers on each side. Mills to his right. Mills will get the call up the gut. Breaks a tackle at the 30. Staggers forward to the 34-yard line. That's a pickup of about 6 yards on the carry. Sets up 2nd and 4.
Good hard run right there. Seth Mills just right in between the tackles, handed him the football, and looking at his averaging 12 yards a carry. So good job by Seth Mills to hit it up in there.
2nd and 4, same formation. Got a flyer in the neutral zone, no call. Combs looks to the sideline to make an adjustment. Mills is the running back to his right. Twin wide out, split out each side. Takes the snap, sets the throw, fires the out route. Got it in the flat at the 40, up ahead to the 46-yard line. Xander Curry on the out route. That's enough to move the sticks for a first down. Corbin.
Really good job right there. Cam Combs almost on a little timing out route. Throws the football before Xander Curry's even looking, and then connects for the first down. Looks up front right here. Franklin County Flyers have a 4-man front, 2 backers inside, and then playing over the top. Great job by Cam Combs.
Same formation for the Hounds. Hard count again, no bite from the Flyer defensive front. Combs makes an audible. No adjustment to the formation. 4 wide receivers. Option play. Pitch out to Mills at the 50. Fights ahead into Flyer territory down to the 49-yard line. Pickup of about 5 on the speed option. Sets up 2nd and 5.
Yeah, nifty little play right there to get Seth Mills in space one-on-one, and I really love what the Hounds are doing right here. You know, you always want to get those one-on-ones with your receivers, but right now just kind of controlling the football, hammering away right here at the Franklin County Flyers.
Corbin going with the no-huddle look. Continuously trying the hard count look. Eventually Corbin will sneak one in there and go on the first sound. Here on 2nd down, twin wide out, split out each way. 4 wide remain on the field. Handoff goes to Mills across the left side. Now he cuts it back to the right. Fights down to the Franklin County 44-yard line. That's a pickup of about 4, almost 5. It's going to be very third and looks like very close.
Yeah, another good run right there. Seth Mills off the left side behind number 74, left tackle, Big Franklin West. And, again, the Hounds, using their offensive line, using their size to kind of assert their will right here against the Flyers. And as long as the Flyers sit right there in that 4-2 defense, when they get the spread look, the Hounds give you the spread look.
Yeah, going to continue to run it.
Yeah, Hounds will continue to pound that football. That's right.
Corners backed off. They've got 2 nickels on, safety deep. Yeah, but as long as this 6-man box stays, they're going to keep running the football. Hard count, no adjustment. Everybody's manned up across the field, 1 high safety for the Flyers. Handoff again. Up
there
the
he
gut
goes.
At the 40, at the 30. Spinning ahead inside the 30-yard line. Pickup of about 13. Goes Mills. That's enough for another Red Hound first down.
Yeah, exactly. I think you kind of figured it out, Ronnie. Exactly. They give you the 4-2 look. Hound's just going to continue to pound away, and I don't blame Coach Elam at all. Get behind that big red wall, that big offensive line, and just chuck it 4, 5, 6 yards down the field.
Back on the ball immediately. Corbin going with the no-huddle look here, then going with the hard count. They're just forcing them to stay in a 3-point stance, which is 0 fun. Timeout on the field. Looks like Franklin County may have a player down with a cramp, perhaps.
Is that quarterback Madison?
I think it looks like number 11, Jaden Madison.
Yes.
Also their quarterback, yeah.
Yeah, just looking at the stats as well. I noticed I was looking at the Franklin County Flyer stats. Madison, the leading tackler for the Flyers of Franklin County. So, yeah, if your quarterback's the leading tackler, kind of have him as quarterback offense, linebacker defense / strong safety, and right there down with cramps.
Could be a big impact. We're still, we have a little bit of chill in the air, and that some of that, that positive pressure coming off of Hurricane Ida. So it's unseasonably cool, but it's still very humid out right now.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, a lot of cramps may come into factor, and Madison playing great for the Flyers, so could be a big blow right there if he's not able to keep going in this football game.
Depth also a big factor.
That's right. That's right.
Corbin has no one going both ways right now. Number 1, Zach Claudio checking in, leading receiver for this Flyer squad. He's going to be manned up on Dakota Patterson, something to watch. Hounds stay in the 4 wide receiver look. Mills in the running back at the left side. Back to pass. Combs loads up. Fires over the middle, in and out of Mills' hands. Incomplete. Bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, I love it, though, right there, Ronnie. First down, the Hounds been pounding. Coach Elam calls the pass play on first down. So, really, you didn't get anything out of it, but really good offensive play call, kind of keeping the Flyers from Franklin County off balance on defense.
2nd and 10, 4:41 remaining in the first quarter. Neither team has darkened the scoreboard so far. Hounds have elected to remain in the shotgun and have kept 4 wide receivers on the field. Mills is in at running back. He'll get the call. Now he'll cut to the left. Brings a couple of Flyers with him up to about his own 26-yard line. That's going to pick up about 3 yards on the carry. Sets up 3rd and 7.
Tough little run right there, Seth Mills. Looks like maybe the Flyers defensively have switched to that 3-man front with the 4 backers in there. So trying to make an adjustment against the Hounds running game that's been successful so far in this first quarter. So just kind of a 1-2 punch, throwing punches right here, chess match, if you will. Hounds right now winning the battle.
3rd and 7. Corbin is in field goal range right now. Rocket screen, well over the hand of Dakota Patterson, incomplete. Flyers bought the blitz. Corbin, of course, will probably look to bring on the kicking unit from this part right here. 26 yards. That's about a 45-yard field goal. That's well within Jacob Baker's range.
Yeah, exactly. And, we talked about that, and here he comes. And, could be a huge factor, Jacob Baker in this football team. If it comes down to a field goal, I'm putting my chips on Jacob Baker any day of the week. That's right. So
all time.
Exactly. Jacob Baker coming in here to put some points on the board for the Hounds.
Play clock dwindled down to 10 seconds. Puts the toe to it. Looks like it's got the distance. It's good! 3:55 remaining in the first quarter. Hounds strike first with a 45-yard field goal. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
When you've been in business since 1954, you have to be doing something right. At Owens Auto Repair, they believe in honesty, service, and that hard work can still get you somewhere. Owens offers a complete line of truck and auto parts, as well as their custom-made hydraulic hoses, weather guard toolboxes, utility beds, and Sherwin-Williams auto paint. They also offer auto repair for cars, trucks, and RVs, and of course have top name brand tires. And they do towing and recovery. Owens Auto Repair, located just down from Corbin High School on Cumberland Falls Highway.
Jacob Baker, they're on top 3-0 over the visiting Franklin County Flyers. I'm Ronnie Bowling with Jeff Barnett and Jenny Barnett in the T107 broadcast booth. And wow, you nailed it in the pregame broadcast, JB. Jacob Baker, big weapon in these tight ball games.
Already a factor right here. We saw the big field goal right there, saw the kickoff, and right here Jacob Baker going to deliver the football again.
Baker will put the toe to it. It's another high end over end kick. Lots of hang time. Going to be fielded right around the Franklin County 5-yard line. Trying to cut it back to the middle of the field. Got a little wiggle room at the 20. Finally wrestled down from behind, right around his own 27-yard line. Decent little return there from Franklin County. They'll take over 1st and 10.
Yeah, Ethan Gregory, number 32, hustling down, making a play. A number 11, Dakota Patterson as well. And, we saw Jacob Baker kick a lot of touchbacks. Almost looks like, getting that height on that football, maybe by design right there.
Maybe.
To give the Hounds, coverage team to get down there and close in on the receiver right there.
First week here at Campbell Field, 7-7 on touchbacks. Madison checks back into the game at quarterback. He's got 5 wide receivers. Now he's going to make an adjustment. Bring Mormon back in behind him in a pistol look. Fullback joining him in the backfield. Straight ahead ISO play. Now he's going to bounce it out to the outside. No running room there. Ball looks like it came loose. I think Corbin might have the football. That's going to be a fumble on the play. Corbin. County 26-yard line.
Huge play right there. Hounds defense kind of settling in, stopping the run, doing a good job right there, coming up making the plays, and then you get that loose ball on the field. Hounds going to be hustling all over the place for it. So great job by the defense for the Hounds.
Cannot see. I didn't catch who forced that fumble.
You didn't see come up, made a hit right there on that edge, but you're right. Looks like our statistician right there, Bryson Batt, number 9, comes up and makes the hit. So
FF.
That's right.
Combs and company take over 1st and 10 at the Franklin County 26-yard line. 4 wide receivers still in play on the field. Mills is his running back, set off to his left. Combs sets the throw, got time, loads up, fires the check down to Mills in the flat, hauled in at the 30, up to the 25, staggers forward up to about the 22-yard line. Flag comes in late on the play. Not sure what that was.
Yeah, not exactly right here. Going to figure it out right here from the officials, but, turnovers.
I think it's a sideline warning.
Yeah, exactly. I think so. But turnovers, penalties always can change the flow of a football game.
That's the call. Sideline warning against Franklin County. This particular crew will throw the sideline warning.
That's right.
With great liberty.
That's right. That's right. You're not where you're supposed to be. You're going to get the flag. That's right.
Actually saw Corbin taking a penalty over sideline warning from the same officiating crew. 2nd and 6. Combs remains in the same formation. Hard count, little movement off the edge pressure. Flyers go into a 3-man front here. Wide receivers all across the field. Combs fakes the handoff, now fires into the flat, got Longmire. Going to be knocked out of bounds right around the 15-yard line. That should be enough for a Red Hound first down.
Yeah, I think so. Chains moving right there. Really good play call, Coach Elam. Using the play fake, the little play action to kind of get Travion a one-on-one right there out in the flat. And then Cam Combs delivers the football and moves the chains right there for the Hounds offense.
1st and 10 at the Flyer 15. 2:57 remaining in the first quarter. Corbin on top 3-0. Darken the scoreboard with a 45-yard field goal from Baker to start the game. Combs in the shotgun. Twin wideout split out each way. Mills to his right. Mills gets the call. Cuts it up the gut. Lunges forward all the way up to the Franklin County 10-yard line. Gain of 5 on the carry. Sets up 2nd and 5.
Again, running behind, the left side of that line. Offensive line, Tucker Burns up in there. Number 61 looks like Hunter Heath, Franklin West as well. So, again, Hounds doing a good job controlling the tempo of this football game, using that running game and that short passing attack.
Peyton Jordan checks in at right guard. Hard count again, no bite. Combs looks over to the sideline, 20 seconds on the play clock. Still 4 wide receivers, very wide, both across the numbers. Play action, fires the slant over the middle, incomplete, trying to find Xander Curry on the RPO. Couldn't hook up out of his outstretched arms. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Yeah, 3rd and 5 right here. You wonder if you're in 4-down territory, or, if they stop you, do you turn it over to Jacob Baker? So be interesting to see what Coach Greer does right here if the Hounds aren't able to come up with the first down on 3rd and 5.
3rd and 5, same formation they've been in all football game. Crowd noise level starting to rise. He'll adjust Mills over to his right at the running back spot. Combs takes the snap, give to Mills across the left side. He's got some running room at the 10, at the 5. He's buried out of bounds. Should be enough for a Red Hound first down.
Exactly. Seth Mills got a little crease, got a couple yards, got his feet moving, and then makes a really good move to bounce out to the left side and does a good job to get beyond the chains and get the first down for the Hounds. So 1st and goal right here for the Hounds offense.
Waiting for the official spot here. Looks like they may be contemplating a measurement. Now it's the call, first down. Bent the first down marker indication stick. That was the controversy. Never mind. 1st and 5. Or 1st and goal from the Franklin County 5, excuse me. Hounds elect to remain in the shotgun, even on the goal line. 4 wide receivers in the football game. Mills remains at running back. And you can hear over the microphone crowd level starting to get rowdy here at Campbell Field. Flyers backed up on their own goal line. Mills resets to his right. Handoff straight ahead to Mills. He'll surge behind his interior lineman. Trying to break that plane. He's very close. I think he stopped just short, right around the 1-inch line.
Yeah, I think he's just short. Another yard or 2 gain right there. Yeah, the big guy's coming in, the big ugly's coming in to pound the football.
Here comes the beef.
Yeah, here comes the beef. You ask where the beef is, here's the beef coming out. I love the patience of Coach Elam trying to hammer away on the Franklin County Flyers.
Hound's going to be tagged, I think, with a legal substitution. Unsportsmanlike conduct going against Corbin. That's a costly penalty at this juncture of the football game.
Yeah, going to be coming back right here. Hound's going to have to reset right here on second down. But, yeah, official marking the yardage off.
That's a free one. That's one you can definitely control. So you don't like to see those.
That's right. You know, we said a minute ago, penalties, turnovers, can change the flow of a football game. And right there, we see the Hounds struggling on that penalty. So Hounds looking right here, 2nd and 16 to try to get this football in the end zone.
16 yards to pay dirt for this Red Hound offense. They'll go back out of their goal line package. Combs remains in the shotgun. He's got Trips to his right. Longmire, Patterson, and Curry to his right. Takes the snap, loads up to fire. Got Longmire in the flat at the 10. Surges ahead. We'll wait for the official spot. Looks like he landed right around the 8-yard line, so splits the difference there. 3rd and about 8 to go.
Yeah, looks like right there, Travion catching it out in the flat again. Cam Combs
they're going to spot it on the 10. That's a full 10 to go.
On the 10, right, and kind of gets it in 3rd and manageable right there. So, you've got 3rd down. It'd be interesting to see again. Coach Greer, does he kick the field goal? Does he go for the touchdown? Be interesting to see if the Hounds can't cash in on 3rd down.
3rd and goal from the 10. Hounds elect to run it. Mills up the gut. All the way down to the Franklin County 4. Now a very interesting decision. Clock inside 1 minute in the first quarter.
Yeah, huge decision right here. 4th down, I think you said, Ronnie, right about 4th and 4. So
wouldn't be surprised to see Greer take a timeout here.
Yeah, may let the play clock run down. We've seen him do that before and take the timeout. That's right. But, at this distance, you think Jacob Baker going to be automatic.
Automatic.
Yes, exactly. So, almost, you risk the 3 points if you don't take the field goal. So, again, Coach Greer going to let the play clock run down right here.
I'll tell you, with a team like Franklin County, the way they score, it's hard to turn down points when you can get them.
I think so. They can score from anywhere on the football field. So, you may want to take your chances, that's for sure.
Corbin elects to take a timeout. We'll take a break as well. 12 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Hounds on top 3-0. When we come back, 4th down. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
Our world has dramatically changed over the past couple of years. We've all had to adjust to these changing times. But one thing has not changed is the fact that the Hart family and Tri-County Cycle Sales is still serving southeastern Kentucky with the same quality products and service after the sale since 1968. Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, and Polaris are the biggest names in off-road adventure and still can be found at Tri-County Cycle Sales. For your next ATV or side-by-side, stop by the place where time has stood still. Tri-County Cycle Sales, located between Corbin and London on US 25 across from Kentucky Outdoorsman.
In the first quarter, Corbin on top 3-0 over Franklin County. 4th down and goal at the Flyer 4-yard line. It looks like Coach Greer electing to go for it here on 4th down. I'm Ronnie Bowling with Jeff Barnett and Jenny Barnett in the T107 broadcast booth. Hounds have brought in the beef package. Mills in at the Wildcat. Patterson and Longmire split out wide. He brings Longmire in motion. He fakes it. Now he keeps it himself. Fires in the end. He's got Brody Wells.
Play right there, use the jet motion, draws the defenders over to the left side, and Brody Wells sitting in the corner of the end zone by the popcorn stand to make the big touchdown catch. Great job by Cam Combs and Brody Wells to put the Hounds on top right here.
The goal line gamble pays off. Seth Mills, first touchdown pass of the season for him, connecting to Brody Wells for the touchdown. Baker on to add the extra point. Snap is down, kick is up and away. It looks good from here, and it's good. 7 seconds remaining in the first quarter play. Hounds on top 10-0. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
The magical season of fall is here with cooler temperatures and shorter days, and that means two things: hunting season and it's football time in the Bluegrass. So before you plan your next hunting or fishing trip, stop by southeastern Kentucky's #1 hunting and fishing headquarters, Kentucky Outdoorsman. It's national buying power with the same family-owned small-town customer service to which you've become accustomed. Get equipped for your next outdoor adventure at Kentucky Outdoorsman, located on US Highway 25 between Corbin and London, next to Tri-County Cycle Sales.
7 seconds remain in the first quarter of play. It's been a while when Corbin's on top 10-0. Hounds find the end zone on 4th down. Seth Mills Yes, Seth Mills, touchdown pass to Brody Wells out of the Wildcat, has the Hounds up on a 2-score lead here at Campbell Field. I'm Ronnie Bowling with Jeff Barnett and Jenny Barnett in the T107 broadcast booth. And JB, what a play call.
Yeah.
Put Mills in the Wildcat, let him go.
Exactly. The Riverboat Gambler, Coach Greer out there.
I've never heard him called that.
Yeah, I know it. That's right. He's not, exactly. He's not that, but just doing a great job, with the play call to get the Hounds on the board again.
Baker will kick it away. It's a high, short kick fielded at the 10-yard line by Claudio, trying to find some wiggle room there, and there's no room available. Going to be chopped down inside his own 20. Flyers will take over 1st and 10 from their own 18-yard line. 0.7 seconds remaining in the quarter.
Yeah, Hounds, the special teams unit, number 40, Mikey Neal hustling down. Brandon Baker again, saw him on a number of tackles. In this special teams unit, doing a great job for the Hounds so far tonight, as well as offensively. I love the way the Hounds right now just kind of, chunking it up in there and, owning the time of possession right here on offense.
1st and 10. Flyers operate also out of the shotgun. They also go with 4 wide receivers. Madison resets his running back. Mormon to his right, closer to the trip side. Rollout to the away sideline, trying to find an open receiver. Now he's going to tuck it and run it. Going to be met right around the line of scrimmage. Got up on the second effort. Might have got a yard or two, and that'll put the first quarter of play in the books. After 1, Corbin's on top, 10-0. We'll be back in second quarter action in 60 seconds. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
I need 3 uncorked slushes. Adding strawberries to the sangria. Order up. Sonic uncorked slushes, ready for pickup.
Would you rather eat in the car or eat at the dinner table at home?
Rather eat in the car.
You can turn on some tunes, dancing, eating. You know how weird we'd look if we did this at the kitchen table?
Sonic Wacky Pack.
Right now, we just having a good time.
Dreaming about enjoying time on the lake but need a boat? Or planning a road trip but not sure which RV is right for you and your family? Wildcat RV and Marine can help. With our selection of Keystone and Crossroads RVs and Mercury Low boats, we can get you in the great outdoors. We're a family-owned RV and Marine dealer with professionally trained sales and service departments. Our staff is committed to helping you find the perfect RV or boat and keep it on the road or in the water. Wildcat RV and Marine, just off I-75 in Corbin, or online at wildcatrvandmarine.com.
Hounds on top 10-0 over the visiting Franklin County Flyers. I'm Ronnie Bowling with Jeff Barnett and Jenny Barnett in the T107 WCTT broadcast booth. Flyers operating out of the shotgun on 2nd and 7 from their own 22-yard line. Madison's got a player in motion. It's a jet sweep to Claudio. Got some running room at the 25. Breaks at the 30. Brought down from behind. Touchdown saving tackle up at the Flyer 37-yard line. That's enough for first down, Franklin County.
Yeah, Evan Poore right there, saving the tackle, like you said, Ronnie, from, Claudio breaking it and going the distance. And, mentioned it earlier, the Flyers can score from anywhere. So, Hounds got to be careful, keep the football in front of them, make the Franklin County Flyers drive the football.
Madison remains in the shotgun. 3 wide receivers on the field. He's got a wing to his right. Mormon checked in at running back to his left. 1st and 10 from his own 38-yard line. High snap, he corrals it, give to Mormon. Bounces to the right side, going to be hit in the backfield. Brody Wells on the tackle. Big time play from the outside linebacker.
Yeah, huge play right there, Brody Wells. Getting rid of the block, coming off, making a hit right there for maybe a yard gain. So again, except for a play here, play there, Hounds defense really doing a good job to kind of, like we said at JB Keys of the game, make the Flyers from Franklin County one-dimensional.
5 wide receivers on the field. Franklin County elects to stay in the shotgun, trips to the right, twins to the left. Ball spotted on the left hash. Sets the throw, quarterback draw, got some running room at the 40, at the 45, going to be walked down from behind up to his own 49-yard line. That's a gain of about 11, enough for another Franklin County first down.
Looked like Carter Severe on the tackle right there, and quarterback number 11, Jaden Madison, empty in the backfield, creating those running lanes, and does a good job to move the chains. And then Carter Severe able to kind of get him down right there for the Hounds defense.
Well, you can see this team, while they put up a lot of points, really execute well offensively.
Yes, they do. Just good play calls, good movement, and, very smart quarterback. So good job offense for the Flyers.
Overload set for Franklin County. They're in the toss sweep out of this earlier. Now they elect to throw the ball. Max protection, one receiver down the field. Madiman going to tuck it and run it himself. He's going to be drilled down, hit in the backfield, and sacked for a loss. Not the guy you want hitting you in the rib cage.
No, exactly. Braden Reynolds, number 41, coming up from his defensive tackle spot, doing a good job to close the door on the quarterback for the Flyers. But you're right. You don't see max protection a lot, especially with a football team that likes to spread the ball around. But right there we saw the max protection, one receiver in the route, and the Hounds DBs does a good job. Travion Longmire on the edge, and then the Hounds get the sack.
2nd and 11. Flyers empty the backfield, 2 tight ends, and trips to the left. A lot of unusual sets out of this football club. Madison remains in the shotgun. Loads up to throw. It's a screen caught in the flat by Claudio. He's going to be hit it and drop. That should be incomplete pass. So they're actually going to rule it incomplete. That was close to being called a fumble.
Yeah, exactly. And
wow.
we saw number four Brody Wells playing it perfect right there. To the trip side, you see the rocket screen. Anytime you see the football, thrown to the sideline, you attack. Brody Wells did a great job right there. Made a good, good pressure, good tackle. If the receiver would have caught the football, it would have been for no gain.
Boy, the way the Hounds are surging on these screens, you got to worry about the double pass too.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Probably in the back pocket of the Franklin County coach. That's right.
I imagine so. He knows how to score points.
That's right.
3rd and 11, timeout on the field. Looks like Franklin County might have taken one. We'll wait for the official indication here. Timeout, Franklin County will take one as well. 9:25 remaining in the first half of play. Corbin on top, 10-0. We'll be back with 3rd down action here in 30 seconds. You're listening.
If you're looking for a better night's sleep, Sammy's Furniture has the perfect mattress for you. Whether it's combining the support of an innerspring mattress with the comfort of memory foam with a Sealy Hybrid, or the all-night cooling of the new Tempur-Pedic Breeze, or the unparalleled design and craftsmanship of a Stearns & Foster, Sammy's Furniture is here to help you find a mattress that won't break your back or your budget. That's Sammy's Furniture and Sleep Shop, open 7 days a week. Visit our store to find your perfect mattress today.
$9:25 remaining in the first half of play. Red Hounds on top, 10-0 over the visiting Franklin County Flyers. Flyers have it 3rd and 11 on their own 48-yard line. Ronnie Bowling with Jeff Barnett and Jenny Barnett in the T107 broadcast booth. Flyers operating out of the shotgun. Trips to the right. One wide receiver split out to the left. Hounds rush 4. Finds Mormon is running back at the 40, at the 30. Juke at the 20, at the 10, still on his feet, tackled down from behind, right around the 1-yard line. Big gain out of the backfield from Mormon, sets up the Flyers 1st and goal.
Yeah, great play right there. Great play design by the Flyers. You said it right there before the break. They can score a lot of points in a hurry. And great play design. They run the tailback Mormon out of the backfield, get a one-on-one with the inside backer. And, anytime you have that, a lot of times, the Mormon, Caden Mormon, going to win that battle, and he did just right there. So 1st and goal right here for the Flyers from Franklin County.
Flyers going to go with a heavy set look here on the goal line. 1st and goal at the Red Hound 1. I formation, 2 tight ends and a wing. Madison checks up under center. Mormon dotting the I. He'll get the call, veering towards the end zone. He'll walk it in for the touchdown.
Yeah, touchdown right there. Just needed a yard to put the Franklin County Flyers on the board. And again, anytime you get close to that goal line, you're going to turn it around and hand it to your stud running back, Caden Mormon. And he answers the call right there and puts points on the board for Franklin County Flyers.
It took about 16 minutes of action, but Franklin County finally finding the end zone on the back of this explosive offense. On to add the extra point is Walton. Kick is down, snap is down, kick is up and away, it's good. 8:48 remaining in the first half. Hounds lead 10-7. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Red Hound Football on C107.
Hello, I'm Dr. Deidre Pennington, and I invite you to discover the difference at Pennington Wellness, Chiropractic, and Massage. We offer digital x-ray with instant imaging for the most specific solution to your problem. The Atlas orthogonal technique offers a gentle and precise adjustment with no twisting of the neck or spine. Pennington Wellness offers a family-friendly atmosphere.
Trust our Grammy. We do.
The score up, or not evens, but cuts into the lead. Hounds are on top 10-7. I'll get it out in a second. Over Franklin County. I'm Ronnie Bowling with Jeff Barnett and Jenny Barnett in the T107 broadcast booth. And we talked about it in the break. It was not a matter of if, but when Franklin County would find the end zone. This is a team that likes to put up lots of points on folks, but it took 16 minutes to find pay dirt for them.
That's right. You look up there, it takes 16 minutes, that's fine. The Franklin County Flyers, high-powered offense. So now the Hounds offense come out here. How do you respond? How do you respond right here?
This looks like an onside kick attempt right here.
Yes, it does. They're lined up here. See when he kicks the football what happens.
Ball sitting high on the tee. Looks like an onside. It's just a pooch kick. End-over-end kick going to be fielded at the 25-yard line. Up to the 30 by Mills. Cuts to his home sideline with one to beat. Breaks that tackle at the 40. Up to the 50. Up to the 40. Cuts back against the grain and finally wrestled down in Flyer territory all the way down to the Franklin County 33-yard line. Big return from Mills.
Huge return right there. Starts on the right side of the football field, takes it all the way over to the left side, has one defender to beat, makes a little move, gets to the sideline in a hurry, and, moves the football down. Hounds offense going to start in great shape right around the Franklin County Flyer 33, 34-yard line right here.
Official spot going to be the 33, so already in Baker field goal range. He, of course, hit from 51 from this end of the field on the opening football game of the contest. Now they're actually going to back him up. Was there a penalty or did he step out of bounds perhaps? Ball actually going to be on the 41-yard line of Franklin County. Look, maybe he stepped out of bounds before he was finally brought to rest.
Yeah, I think so. Looks like it. So Hound's going to get set right here on the Franklin County 41.
Combs operates out of the shotgun on 1st and 10. Gregory in a running back. Fakes it. Now throws into the flat. Actually throws it incomplete over his head. I think that was by design. Trying to find Patterson in the flat, but the defender was right on his hip pocket. I think he put it where no one could catch it.
Yeah, I think so. Good defense right there by the Flyers of Franklin County to come up and challenge Dakota Patterson. But, Cam Combs unable to connect, so brings up this 2nd and 10. You get this great field position off of the kickoff receive team right here. So you want to do something with it. You want to cash in 8:31. Hounds got a 10-7 lead in this second quarter. Want to do something with this great field position right here.
Fakes the handoff on 2nd down, under pressure, in the pocket. Fires over the middle, trying to find Patterson on the slant route. No one home. Good pass coverage there from Franklin County. Going to bring up 3rd down.
Tough 3rd down right here. A defender all over Dakota Patterson. They've got him kind of bracketed. They're going to watch Dakota Patterson. Again, crowd getting crazy right here on 3rd down for the Franklin County Flyers.
3rd down, 10 to go. Ball on the left hash towards the Corbin sideline. Ball resting on the Franklin County 41. Combs in the shotgun, twin wideout split out each way. Mills is checked back in at running back. 5 on the play clock. Hounds are going to burn a timeout. We'll take one as well. 8:26 remaining in the first half of play. Hounds on top 10-7, 3rd down. When we come back in 30 seconds, you're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
We've all been there, out and about, and you see someone and you just can't seem to remember their name. This happens to just about all of us, but it shouldn't with your doctor. Today, it is so convenient to see a provider who doesn't know your name, let alone your medical history. Your family needs a primary care provider who knows you and meets all of your family's needs. Jane's Family Practice is now open and located on Master Street in Corbin. Stop in for school physicals, women's care, men's health screenings, regular checkups, and when you just aren't feeling your best. Call and schedule an appointment today with Jane's Family Practice at 280-4000. That's 280-4000.
8:26 remaining in the first half of play. Hounds on top 10-7 over the visiting Franklin County Flyers. Backed up now, big 3rd and long play. Ball is driven down to the Franklin County 41-yard line. Drive is in danger right now. Hounds need 10 to convert the sticks. There was a flag thrown here in the timeout period. Looks like it's going to go against Corbin.
Yeah, I think so. Looks like officials trying to give us a call, but wow, tough break. Again, you know, you marching it off. Looks like
it's got to be some sort of personal foul.
15 yards, yeah.
And unless it was against a player for something that was said or the coaching staff, there was no indication.
Yeah.
The flag was thrown out of the timeout, so it's third and a cheap cab ride. Corbin now is probably going to elect to run the football and punt it away. Not a lot of plays in the playbook for 3rd and 25. Combs in the shotgun. Sets the throw, 3-man rush, lots of time. Rolls to his left, fires to Mills in the flat, catches it at the 45, up to the 50, where he'll be driven out of bounds. There's a flag on the play. I think that could be a late hit.
Yeah, I think so. Over on the sideline on the far side. Looks like a late hit right there. Combs just going to the check down. Flyers doing a great job. Defensive backs, you know, playing for the long ball. And Combs checks the football down. But you're right, a flag coming out right here, waiting for the officials to kind of give us the call on this 3rd down.
Flag on the play near the site of the tackle. It's going to be a late hit out of bounds. It's going to be it should be an automatic first down.
I think so, yeah. It should be an automatic first down right here. So if that holds up right here, seeing the officials mark the flag off, turns out to be a huge, huge penalty against the Flyers to give the Hounds a first down.
Not going to be an automatic first down now. It's going to be 3rd and short. So after a host of penalties on each side, both dead ball in nature, it's going to be 3rd and 2 at the Franklin County 38-yard line. Now there's some confusion on the field. I think Coach Greer pleading his case. Usually a personal foul is automatic first down.
I thought it was a first down. You're right. And looks like Coach Greer talking about it right here, you know, on the field, on the numbers right here. So not sure, you know, exactly what's going to transpire. But, again, looks like they're going to.
That's 4th down. 4th down. That's correct.
Yes.
4th down, Hounds elected to go for it. They, of course, are in Baker field goal range. Hounds have an extra timeout to talk about it if they wish to. They don't want to. Going to go for it here on 4th down. Combs with a hard count. The noise level too high, I think, for it to matter at this point. Resets Combs to his right. He'll get the call on 4th down. He's got the first down and more. Makes a cut at the left, at the 10. Bails down the back to the 5-yard line.
Wow.
Big gain from Seth Mills out of the backfield. Going to be enough for a Red Hound first down. Travion Longmire shaking up on the play. He's going to walk off the field under his own power. Hope everything's okay there.
Really good job right there. You know, we saw the Hounds first down, throw it, second down, throw it. Times get tough, 4th and a couple. What do? You get behind that big offensive line, and the big offensive line and Seth Mills answers the bell right there.
Longmire shaking up on the play. They'll tend him. Looks like a cramp. He was leaving the field under his own power. Looks like they're tending, appears to the hamstring area. You see a lot of cramps and hydration issues this time of year. Unseasonably cool right now, but the humidity's still definitely a factor.
Yeah, I think so. And, you know, we saw it earlier with the quarterback, Jaden Madison, you know, having a little struggle with cramps, and then Travion right there for the Hounds, you know, jumping up too. So, you know, those cramps can pop up anytime. And, you know, we've seen it a couple times already early in this football game. Still 8:09 right here in the second quarter. Hounds with the lead 10-7.
Longmire leaves the field of play under his own power. Sets up 1st and goal at the Flyer 7. Second time they've been here on the evening. This time trying to punch it in on the end zone closest to the post office. Combs remains in the shotgun. He's got 4 wide, but they're tucked in tight in a snugs formation. Handoff going to go to the right side to Mills, trying to find some running room. Throws a juke and staggers forward to the 4. Going to pick up about 2 or 3 on the long handoff. Flyer defense stretching that one out nicely.
Yeah, great run again. Seth Mills kind of down to one knee right there. Carried the football a lot so far in this first half, but again, Hounds running game really, really answering the call. when you look at the way the football game is flowing right here. So looks like 2nd down and 4, and Hounds looking to cash in and extend their lead from 10 to 7 to 17 to 7. So Hounds want to punch one in right here on offense.
Gregory checks in at running back. He'll reset to the left. Flag down on the play. That's going to be a false start against Corbin. Had a wide receiver take off just a little early. So Hounds will back it up 5 on the false start. Be 2nd and goal from the Franklin County 9.
Yeah, tough break right there. Getting close to that goal line, you can smell the end zone, and really fired up to make a play. And unfortunately for the Hounds, a little bit of motion and offside, so it cost the Hounds 5. Reset right here, 2nd and 9. See if you can cash in again.
Hounds remain in the same formation. Tripp split out to the left. Gregory at running back to the left. Fakes the handoff, now rolls to the left, trying to find some wiggle room. Fires it into traffic. Incomplete, trying to find Patterson there on the check down. It was well defended. Could have gone the other way on that throw.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of the ball on the throw gets popped up in the air, and usually a lot of times when that happens, the defense comes down with it. So Hounds fortunate right there on 2nd and goal on the 9 to not turn the football over. So you get a chance right here on 3rd down to see if you can put some points on the board.
I think Franklin County's watched a little bit of film. They've well defended that check down play.
That's right, exactly. Always sitting there for the check down. That's exactly right.
3rd and goal from the Flyer 9. He sets the throw. Trying to find a receiver. He's got lots of time. Now he rolls to his right. Still looking to throw. Now he'll tuck and run it. He'll fight forward for a gain of maybe a yard or 2. Probably see Coach Greer kick the field goal here.
Probably so right there. Cam Combs kind of scrambling, buying some time. Offensive line does a great job with protection. And, Cam Combs kind of floating to the right a little bit, trying to find an open receiver. Unable to, runs it up in there for a couple yards. So brings a 4th down right here for the Hounds.
Corbin looks like they're going for it. They have seen the hard count attempt here near the goal line. Hard count, no bite on the play. Corbin keeps the offense on the field on 4th down. Combs remains in the shotgun for wide receivers. Going to hand off straight ahead on 4th and goal. He's going to be met at the line of scrimmage. So Franklin County holds on 4th down.
Wow, tough
big
break.
stop there.
Yeah, good stop by the Franklin County defense. Hounds try to run right in the teeth of the defense on 4th and 7. And unfortunately for the Hounds offense, unable to cash in. So turn the football over right here to the Franklin County Flyers deep in their own end zone, in the shadow of the end zone. So Hounds defense, look, 7 minutes to go in this football game, 10 to 7 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter till halftime. Hounds defense looking to get the football back right here.
Madison Company checking over on their own 7. Operating out of the gun, Mormon joins him in the backfield. Mormon gets the call, trying to find some wiggle room to the right. He's going to be collided right around the 8-yard line. Not a lot of running room there on poor side. Might have got a yard, if any.
Yeah, exactly. Evan Poor, number 15 for the Hounds, he knows how to stop the run and doing a great job to come up and make the hit. So, second down right here, only a couple yards off that left side run for the Flyers.
Flyers empty the backfield on 2nd and 8. They like to go to this 5-wide look on 2nd and long so far. Quad receivers to the right. Now they'll reset. Mormon joins him in a pistol look. Fullback offset to the left. High snap, it's corralled. Play action, rolling to the right. Fires to the right sideline over his intended receiver's head. Incomplete. Bat was in the neighborhood on defensive coverage there. Now sets up a 3rd and long for Franklin County.
Yeah, really good job right there all around by the Hounds defense. Saw Carter Sevier, number 42, kind of keeping the quarterback for the Flyers, Jaden Madison, kind of corralled in there and forced the throw. And then, like you said, Ronnie, Bryson Bat over the top doing a great job as well. So really good job right there on 2nd down by the Hounds defense.
Both defenses playing a lot of disciplined football tonight. Really fun to watch 2 good football teams go at it. 3rd and 8 for Madison and company. He's got 4 wide receivers. Twins split out to each side. Mormon joins him in the backfield. Throws a screen to Mormon back on the right. Joe Brown going to meet him in the backfield for a loss. Hounds defense looks to hold again here on Franklin County.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to set up a screen to the left side, and Judge Joe Brown just having none of that, coming up making the hit. So good job right there again by the Hounds defense. And, you look to flip the field a little bit. So Hounds, right here off the punt, looking to get in good field position. Should at least have the football after this punt right around midfield.
Boy, Joe Brown, got to be the newcomer of the year on this football team. Big impact he's made at that defensive end spot.
Yes, huge impact. Just a sophomore, so good to see. Yes, just good to see Joe Brown out there, number 54 for the Hounds defense.
Flyers on to kick it away. Stewart standing right around his own 43-yard line. Gets the snap. It's a high kick. Going to be fielded around the 40, up to the 35, trying to find a block at the 30. Hits a wall of Flyers, driven down to the ground right around the 27-yard line. Good little return there from Carter Stewart. Sets up the Red Hounds again, knocking on the door of Flyer red zone territory.
Yeah, exactly, and that's, if you're in a football game, of course, that's what you want to do. You play the football game on one side of the field, and so far in this game, the Hounds have done a great job, controlling time of possession, keeping the football on where they want it, and, the offense set up right here, right about the 28-yard line, 1st and 10, so good job by the Hounds defense to get a 3 and out and turn the football back over to this Hounds high-powered offense.
Kim Combs and company take over 1st and 10 at the Franklin County 28-yard line. He'll operate out of the shotgun. Patterson and Stewart to his left. Handoff going to go straight ahead to Mills. He'll grind ahead to the 25. Picks up about 3 on the first down carry.
Yeah, Seth Mills just, running the football in there, the teeth of the Flyers defense. But, we've seen the Hounds kind of be balanced, maybe a little run heavy, but exactly that's been successful. So, look for Coach Elam, hammer the ball away. We talked about it last week and, the week before. Even those 1 and 2 yard gains, they start to add up, especially in that 3rd and 4th quarter.
2nd and 7, Hounds remain in the 4 wide look. Twin wideouts each side. Mills will get the call, cuts it back against the teeth of the defense at the 20 where he's finally brought to rest. Gain of about 5 on the carry. Now it's going to set up a very interesting 3rd and about 2.
Yeah, 3rd and 2, 3rd and short right here. And again, love to see the Hounds just pounding down on the Flyers, wearing down that defensive line with the Hounds' big offensive line. And, again, Coach Elam leaning on the run. Coach Elam leaning on the run right there, giving the football to Seth Mills right into the middle of the Flyer defense. 3rd and 2.
Hounds going with a no huddle, and they continuously try the hard count. Franklin County kind of dialed into that at this point. 3rd and 2. Mills gets the call one more time. He's got the first down, not much more. Brought to rest right around the Franklin County 16-yard line. Picks up about 3 or 4 on the carry. That's enough to move the chains.
Another good job again. Offensive line moving the chains. I'm an old school football guy, and I love to see, pound that rock, and just kind of assert your will against that defense. And right now, Hounds again just having the way up front.
Right down offensive line, Franklin West, Eli Bolton, Tucker Burns, Hunter Heath, and Ethan Goforth anchoring that 5-man front. Doing a good job tonight. Done a good job all season. This is a Red Hound unit averaging 450 offensively. 1st and 10 at the Flyer 16. Gregory checks into the football game. He'll get the call into the teeth of this Flyer front. Might have eked out a yard or 2 on the first down run. Sets up 2nd and about 8.
Yeah, again, just testing that defensive front. And number 32 looks like Ethan Gregory hammering up in there again. So a couple yards, 2:47 and counting into this until halftime. Hounds up 10-7. So Hounds, doing a good job controlling this time of possession right here.
2nd and 8. Gregory will reset to the right. Now back to the original spot on the left. Twin wideouts each way. Fakes the handoff. Now going to fire to Stewart out in the flat. Gets a good block. Finally fights ahead to right inside the 10-yard line. Right about the 9. That's enough 5-yard gain. Sets up 3rd and about 4.
Yeah, third and manageable right here. 3rd and 4, anytime you're in 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, always makes it a little easier to, to convert that 3rd down. So, a little rocket screen out to the left side and a couple moves, and does a good job to pick up a few yards right here to make it 3rd and 4 for the Hounds offense.
Hunter Newberry checks into the game at slot. They like to go to him down on the goal line. 3rd and 4 at the Flyer 10. Combs going to hand off straight ahead to Mills. He'll spin ahead. Depending on the spot, very close to first down yardage. Looks like they're going to spot him in between the 6 and 7 yard line.
Think so. Think, they may look at it, may measure, not sure the official spotting it right here. It's going to be 4th down. So, Seth Mills again hitting it up in there. Looks like Hounds bringing the beef package back in right here.
The steers.
That's right.
Corbin did go to this look down on the goal line 2 possessions ago. Kind of a Wildcat look. Combs has been the Wildcat previously. Now they go with Seth Mills at the Wildcat. Defensive tackle Braden Reynolds checking in at fullback. 4th and a yard at the Flyer 7. He brings Longmire in motion. Fakes the Longmire, keeps it himself up the gut. He's got the first down and more. Going to spot him down at the Franklin 4, gain of about 3 on the carry. That's enough for a Red Hound first down.
First down right there, moving the chains. 53 seconds to go until halftime. And, that Wildcat look, we've talked about it before. It gives you an extra blocker in there. Your quarterback just doesn't turn around and hand the ball off. Your quarterback's running the football for you. So gives you that extra blocker. Hounds taking advantage of that, bringing the beef in right there on 4th and 1.
1st and goal from the Flyer 3. We're inside 1 minute to play here in the first half. Combs remains in the shotgun. Handoff straight ahead to Mills. He's going to be surging towards the goal line. He's in there for the touchdown.
Wow, great job again, Seth Mills running again behind that left side. You talk about Big Franklin West, number 74, doing a great job paving the way. And then Seth Mills, you give him a little room, he can sneak it in there. And Seth Mills does another good job to put some points on the board for the Hounds offense.
Looks like Mills may be shaken up on the play. He's still down near the pylon where he was brought down in the end zone. Do not know what the issue is. Hopefully all is well. He has been Mr. Offense for the Red Hounds this season.
Yeah, I think so. In this first half, Seth Mills, doing a great job, running the football. I think he may be Seth Mills over 100 yards right here. Yeah, 118 yards so far tonight. So, again, Seth Mills, doing a great job for the Hounds offense in this first half.
Mills left the field of play. They're still going to take the official timeout to clear him totally from the acceptable box area.
Yeah, it looks like, he's going to get cleared right there. But, again, just a good job by Seth Mills getting behind that big offensive line. And, you always wonder, it's almost like instinct. You get a running back close to the end zone, and he knows how to stick his nose in there. And right there, number 10, Seth Mills for the Hounds, doing a good job to get his shoulder pads squared up and find the end zone.
Mills up to his feet, walking back to the sideline under his own power. Hopefully everything is okay there. His dad not looking too concerned.
Yeah, exactly.
Walking with him.
Yeah, I think so. So hopefully Seth Mills, and you coming into halftime here, so maybe gets him in a little bit extra time to kind of recover.
Baker on for the extra point, up and away, and it's good. 31 seconds remaining in the first half. Hounds extend their lead 17-7. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
Summer is here, and the deal on the iPhone 12 mini just got even hotter at Appalachian Wireless. The iPhone 12 mini comes with massive features and is the perfect pocket size. Best of all, Appalachian Wireless is offering the iPhone 12 mini for just $1 with a 2-year contract. Good things do come in small packages, and it's the iPhone 12 mini on the region's best network. But don't wait. This deal won't last long. We are you. We are Appalachian Wireless.
31 seconds remain in the first half of play. Red Hounds on top 17-7. They extend their lead on the 3-yard Seth Mills touchdown run. Flyers set to receive the football here with 30 seconds to go in this first half of play. I'm Ronnie Bowling with Jeff Barnett and Jenny Barnett in the T107 broadcast booth. And Right now, JB, the question mark is Seth Mills shaking up on the last play. Is he good to go? He's definitely been a big source of offense for this Red Hound unit first 3 games of the season.
Yes, he has. Seth Mills has done an awesome job last year, an awesome job first 3 games, and, that would be a huge loss for the Hounds. So, like I said a minute ago, you got to have to kind of let him get refreshed right here. So, hopefully Seth Mills is going to be okay right here after halftime.
Baker on to kick it away. Puts the toe to it. It's another high end-over-end kick going to be fielded at the Franklin County 15-yard line. Up to the 20, up to the 30. Lots of running room at the 40. Juking and jiving at the 50. Careening towards that Red Hound sideline. Throws the stiff arm at the 40. Finally tripped up from behind. Brought the rest at the Red Hound 24-yard line. That's Mormon, their stud running back.
Yeah, Mormon, the Hounds been doing a great job all night, special teams. So right there, you kick it away to one of the best backs in the state of Kentucky, and right there, unfortunately, the Hounds paid the price a little bit. A Jacob Baker shoestring tackle for putting 6 on the board. So, Hounds reset right here and kind of backed up a little bit right here right before halftime.
Sometimes there's an advantage to having your kicker also be your free safety.
That's right. Yeah, good job, Jacob Baker, saving the day. And hopefully for the Hounds defense, they'll get out of here at halftime in 18 seconds.
Madison takes over at the Red Hound 23-yard line. 3 wide receivers on the field. Mormon is his running back, split to his left. Flag down on the play. I think that might be a delay of game going against the Flyers. That's the call, delay a game. They'll be backed up 5. 1st and 15 from the Corbin 28.
Yeah, another 5 yards. Good break for the Hounds right there. And just looking at the stats right here, Hounds get the ball at halftime. So, you'd hate for to give up a touchdown. So, Hounds defense need to kind of answer the call right here. Keep the Flyers from Franklin County out of the end zone.
Same formation here on 1st and 15. Madison takes the snap, loads up to throw, firing the fade route. He's got a receiver open, overthrows him, incomplete, trying to hook up with Zach Claudio out in space. Overthrew him there, just a little strong on the throw.
Yeah, I think so. Had the receiver open, like you said, Ronnie, and just overthrows the football. Was standing in the end zone, had a step or two on the Hounds defender. Looked like maybe Carter Stewart and Jacob Baker over the top, but a good job by the Flyers to get a one-on-one situation, but unable to connect. So good break for the Hounds defense right there.
13 seconds remaining in the half. Flyers knocking on the 28-yard line. They're going to reset their tight end and wing to the left towards twin wideouts. Now he's going to throw a little swing pass to his running back in the flat. Tripped up from behind. Brought to rest at the 25-yard line. Timeout on the field with 6 seconds remaining. We'll keep it right here during the break.
Yeah, good job right there, Brody Wells, just kind of recognizing that play, from the snap. A little bit of a run right there to that left side. Brody Wells coming up from his outside backer spot, makes the shot in space, so brings up a 3rd down. 6 seconds left in this second quarter right here until halftime.
Don't know what Franklin County has in terms of field goal kicking prowess. I mean, he looked good during warm-ups. Don't know if they'd trust him to try it here from 24. That'd be about a 41-yard field goal from here.
Yeah, 41-yard field goal. If you've got Jacob Baker sitting over
you try
here,
it.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
easy.
You just knock it through, put 3 points on the board, and move on. But you're right. Be interested to see with 6 seconds in this second quarter what the Franklin County Flyers choose to do right here. So, if you don't have that field goal kicker, you got to come out with some kind of specialized play right here. So if you're the Hounds defenders, you want to have your head on a swivel, be awake for everything. And, just keep things in front of you and make the tackle.
And get back.
That's right. That's right.
6 seconds remaining in the half. Flyers in the gun, trips to the right, ball on the left hash. That's the wide side of the field. Rolls to the left, now squares to throw. Got some time, shaking and baking, running around in the pocket. Lobs one up to the end zone, going to be batted down to the turf and incomplete. So with that play, first half is in the books. After the first half, Corbin leads 17-7 over the Franklin County Flyers. We'll be back with halftime stats, analysis, and predictions. What is necessary to get a Red Hound win? We'll be back shortly in 5 minutes. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
What's up, y'all? This is Chase Rice hanging outdoors with an ice-cold Mountain Dew. You know, it's easy to tell who really loves the outdoors. For one thing, there's a rack on your car and a hitch on the back of your truck. There's a garage full of toys from wakeboards to dirt bikes. And there's a cooler full of Mountain Dew, always at the ready. Because when it's time to get out and do, you know, hit the lake or the deer stand, a cooler of Mountain Dew, that's as important a piece of outdoor gear as your four-wheeler or your fishing rod. Mountain Dew. Do the do.
What's your favorite thing about football time in Corbin? The hometown pride, the sound of the cannon that echoes through downtown Corbin with every point scored? Or is it the tradition of taking your family to Mi Casa before the game? In Corbin, it's all about tradition, and that's what you can count on at Mi Casa Mexican Restaurant. A family-friendly, delicious meal with every visit. Stop in and enjoy their patio and weekly specials. Good luck and go Hounds from Mi Casa of Corbin.
Hometown Bank is proud of their name because Hometown Bank is proud of the hometowns they're in. In fact, their name is their mission, which is to take care of the communities in which they work and live. Hometown Bank is always here to help, so if you're buying a house, remodeling your kitchen, or need a home equity loan to combine other debt, come see Hometown Bank and find out how easy working with a Hometown Bank can be. Visit the Hometown Bank nearest you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When you've been in business since 1954, you have to be doing something right. At Owens Auto Repair, they believe in honesty, service, and that hard work can still get you somewhere. Owens offers a complete line of truck and auto parts, as well as their custom-made hydraulic hoses, weather guard toolboxes, utility beds, and Sherwin-Williams auto paint. They also offer auto repair for cars, trucks, and RVs, and of course have top name brand tires. And they do towing and recovery. Owens Auto Repair, located just down from Corbin High School on Cumberland Falls Highway.
Our world has dramatically changed over the past couple of years. We've all had to adjust to these changing times. But one thing has not changed is the fact that the Hart family and Tri-County Cycle Sales is still serving southeastern Kentucky with the same quality products and service after the sale since 1968. Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, and Polaris are the biggest names in off-road adventure and still can be found at Tri-County Cycle Sales. For your next ATV or side-by-side, stop by the place where time has stood still. Tri-County Cycle Sales, located between Corbin and London on US 25 across from Kentucky Outdoorsman.
The magical season of fall is here with cooler temperatures and shorter days, and that means two things: hunting season and it's football time in the bluegrass. So before you plan your next hunting or fishing trip, stop by southeastern Kentucky's #1 hunting and fishing headquarters, Kentucky Outdoorsman. It's national buying power with the same family-owned small-town customer service to which you've become accustomed. Get equipped for your next outdoor adventure at Kentucky Outdoorsman, located on US Highway 25 between Corbin and London next to Tri-County Cycle Sales.
I need 3 uncorked slushes. Adding strawberries to the sangria. Order up. Sonic uncorked slushes, ready for pickup.
Would you rather eat in the car or eat at the dinner table at home?
Rather eat in the car.
You can turn on some tunes, dancing, eating. You know how weird we'd look if we did this at the kitchen table?
Sonic Wacky Pack.
Right now, we just having a good time.
Dreaming about enjoying time on the lake but need a boat? Or planning a road trip but not sure which RV is right for you and your family? Wildcat RV and Marine can help. With our selection of Keystone and Crossroads RVs and Mercury Low boats, we can get you in the great outdoors. We're a family-owned RV and Marine dealer with professionally trained sales and service departments. Our staff is committed to helping you find the perfect RV or boat and keep it on the road or in the water. Wildcat RV and Marine, just off I-75 in Corbin, or online at wildcatrvandmarine.com.
If you're looking for a better night's sleep, Sammy's Furniture has the perfect mattress for you. Whether it's combining the support of an innerspring mattress with the comfort of memory foam with a Sealy hybrid, or the all-night cooling of the new Tempur-Pedic Breeze, or the unparalleled design and craftsmanship of a Stearns & Foster, Sammy's Furniture is here to help you find a mattress that won't break your back or your budget. That's Sammy's Furniture and Sleep Shop, open 7 days a week. Visit our store to find your perfect mattress today.
Hello, I'm Dr. Deidre Pennington, and I invite you to discover the difference at Pennington Wellness, Chiropractic, and Massage. We offer digital x-ray with instant imaging for the most specific solution to your problem. The Atlas orthogonal technique offers a gentle and precise adjustment with no twisting of the neck or spine. Pennington Wellness has a friendly staff and relaxing spa-like atmosphere.
Trust our Grammy. We do!
cost of the beats and attendance switches at the end of the third quarter. So go now and sign up. Grace Elm is sponsoring tonight's game. They have 10 locations throughout southeastern Kentucky and is a proud sponsor. Their mission is to show the love and share the truth of Jesus Christ in southeast Kentucky through access to compassionate, high-quality primary health care for the whole person.
Halftime here at Campbell Field. Hounds at home playing host to the Franklin County Flyers, two top 4 teams in Class 4A clashing here in week 3. Hounds got the benefit of the scoreboard right now. They're on top 17-7 over Franklin County. I'm Ronnie Bowling with Jeff Barnett and Jenny Barnett in the T107 broadcast booth. And right now, JB, for a first half of play, a lot of the keys you touched on, a lot of things you want to see in winning football games, the Hounds have hit all the high notes, but we're only halfway there.
That's right, halfway home right here, 17-7 lead at halftime. But you're right, Ronnie. You know, we talked about controlling the time of possession, you know, no turnovers and, you know, no penalties, trying to play good, smart, you know, fundamental football. And so far, you know, the Hounds did come out, try to throw some balls, had a little bit of success. But I tell you what, they've really done a good job cashing in, just, you know, turning around in that spread offense, handing the football, getting behind that big offensive line, and, you know, just running downhill. So tip your hat to the Hounds. Coach Elam staying with the game plan, doing a good job of controlling this football game in this first half.
Right now, I mean, the credit goes out to Franklin West, Eli Bolton, Tucker Burns, Hunter Heath, and Ethan Goforth. That's
right.
Your big red offensive
That's right.
line. They have been punishing these Flyers up front, as they have all season long. This offensive line, as good as it gets in high school football, they've done a phenomenal job this season moving folks around.
Yes, they have. And, you know, a lot of times, you know, we talk about Seth Mills. You know, the first game of the season, Cam Combs had a great job running the football. And then last week against Whitley County, the Hounds run all over the place. So, you know, you pick your quarterback, you pick your running back, you know, whatever you want to do. But the consistent thing up front is that big red offensive line. And, you know, tip your hat to those guys. They don't get a lot of publicity, a lot of credit. But, you know, you can't win football games without the big guys up front. And, I mean, tip your hat. Like I said, Hounds doing a great job offensively and defensively on both sides of the line of scrimmage.
Of course, Coach Tommy Greer said in preseason interviews, this team goes as far as their line takes it. They're passing the test right now. Offensive line dominating. Defensive line dominating.
That's right.
I mean, Joe Brown, he's everywhere.
Yes.
I mean, he tackles people all over the field. I've never seen a sophomore with a motor like that.
Yes, a high motor, and that's exactly what we talk about. A lot of times you think of an offensive lineman, a defensive lineman. Yeah, you know, those guys are going to be big, but I tell you what, today's football, all those guys can run sideline to sideline, and they're just athletes. You know, they're bigger athletes that can bring running backs to the ground, and they've done a great job against running back number 10, Caden Mormon, tonight for the Flyers. So tip your hat defensively, tip your hat offensively, and like you said, Ronnie, Hounds winning the battle. Coach Greer, you know, knows what he's got up front, and Hounds doing a great job so far tonight in this first half.
One of these teams on the stat sheet right now, Cameron Combs, 5 of 11, 29 yards in the first half of play. He has 2 yards rushing. Gregory's got 2 yards rushing as well. The bell cow running back tonight's been Seth Mills. He's got 18 runs, 118 yards and a touchdown. He's also got a touchdown pass from 4 yards out to Brody Wells there out of the Wildcat formation. In the receiving department, it's all over the place. Dakota Patterson hauled in a catch for 6. Curry's got 1 for 12. Travion's caught 2 for 7. Wells has caught 1 for 4 and a touchdown, and Stewart's caught 1 for 4 yards as well. In the penalty department, Corbin's got 4 penalties, Franklin's 3, but Franklin County has turned the football over one time. Mormon was forced to turn that football over once in tonight's contest. That's kind of been the story of this game.
Yeah, exactly. You know, the penalty's pretty close, but, you know, a turnover can change the flow of a football game like we talked about earlier. And so you got to take care of that football. One of JB keys to the games, take care of the football, take care of time possession, and win the battle up front. So, and then when you look at the receiving stats, you know, awesome to see 4, 5, 6 different receivers, you know, Cam Combs and company just kind of spreading the ball around. And then, you know, after you've got the Flyers to kind of bite on that, then you feed Seth Mills doing a great job running the football. And just to talk about the difference, you know, we saw Cam Combs week 1 run for over 100 yards on the ground, tonight just 2, and Seth Mills really stepping up as a weapon in the running game.
5 minutes or so till we kick it back off here at Campbell Field. We're going to cut away for some more corporate sponsor time. Again, the score, Corbin 17, Franklin County 7. We'll be back in 5 more minutes. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
We've all been there, out and about, and you see someone and you just can't seem to remember their name. This happens to just about all of us, but it shouldn't with your doctor. Today, it is so convenient to see a provider who doesn't know your name, let alone your medical history. Your family needs a primary care provider who knows you and meets all of your family's needs. Jane's Family Practice is now open and located on Master Street in Corbin. Stop in for school physicals, women's care, men's health screenings, regular checkups, and when you just aren't feeling your best. Call and schedule an appointment today with Jane's Family Practice at 280-4000. That's 280-4000.
Summer is here, and the deal on the iPhone 12 mini just got even hotter at Appalachian Wireless. The iPhone 12 mini comes with massive features and is the perfect pocket size. Best of all, Appalachian Wireless is offering the iPhone 12 mini for just $1 penny with a 2-year contract. Good things do come in small packages, and it's the iPhone 12 mini on the region's best network. But don't wait. This deal won't last long. We are you. We are Appalachian Wireless.
What's up, y'all? This is Chase Rice hanging outdoors with an ice-cold Mountain Dew. You know, it's easy to tell who really loves the outdoors. For one thing, there's a rack on your car and a hitch on the back of your truck. There's a garage full of toys from wakeboards to dirt bikes. And there's a cooler full of Mountain Dew, always at the ready. Because when it's time to get out and do, you know, hit the lake or the deer stand, a cooler of Mountain Dew, that's as important a piece of outdoor gear as your four-wheeler or your fishing rod. Mountain Dew. Do the do.
What's your favorite thing about football time in Corbin? The hometown pride, the sound of the cannon that echoes through downtown Corbin with every point scored? Or is it the tradition of taking your family to Mikasa before the game? In Corbin, it's all about tradition, and that's what you can count on at Mikasa Mexican Restaurant. A family-friendly, delicious meal with every visit. Stop in and enjoy their patio and weekly specials. Good luck and go Hounds from Mikasa of Corbin.
Hometown Bank is proud of their name because Hometown Bank is proud of the hometowns they're in. In fact, their name is their mission, which is to take care of the communities in which they work and live. Hometown Bank is always here to help, so if you're buying a house, remodeling your kitchen, or need a home equity loan to combine other debt, come see Hometown Bank and find out how easy working with a Hometown Bank can be. Visit the Hometown Bank nearest you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When you've been in business since 1954, you have to be doing something right. At Owens Auto Repair, they believe in honesty, service, and that hard work can still get you somewhere. Owens offers a complete line of truck and auto parts, as well as their custom-made hydraulic hoses, weather guard toolboxes, utility beds, and Sherwin-Williams auto paint. They also offer auto repair for cars, trucks, and RVs, and of course have top name brand tires. And they do towing and recovery. Owens Auto Repair, located just down from Corbin High School on Cumberland Falls Highway.
Our world has dramatically changed over the past couple of years. We've all had to adjust to these changing times. But one thing has not changed is the fact that the Hart family and Tri-County Cycle Sales is still serving southeastern Kentucky with the same quality products and service after the sale since 1968. Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, and Polaris are the biggest names in off-road adventure and still can be found at Tri-County Cycle Sales. For your next ATV or side-by-side, stop by the place where time has stood still. Tri-County Cycle Sales, located between Corbin and London on US 25 across from Kentucky Outdoorsman.
The magical season of fall is here with cooler temperatures and shorter days, and that means two things: hunting season and it's football time in the bluegrass. So before you plan your next hunting or fishing trip, stop by southeastern Kentucky's #1 hunting and fishing headquarters, Kentucky Outdoorsman. It's national buying power with the same family-owned small-town customer service to which you've become accustomed. Get equipped for your next outdoor adventure at Kentucky Outdoorsman, located on US Highway 25 between Corbin and London next to Tri-County Cycle Sales.
I need 3 uncorked slushes. Adding strawberries to the sangria. Order up. Sonic uncorked slushes, ready for pickup.
Would you rather eat in the car or eat at the dinner table at home?
Rather eat in the car.
You can turn on some tunes. Dancing, eating. You know how weird we'd look if we did this at the kitchen table?
Sonic Wacky Pack.
Right now, we just having a good time.
Dreaming about enjoying time on the lake but need a boat? Or planning a road trip but not sure which RV is right for you and your family? Wildcat RV and Marine can help. With our selection of Keystone and Crossroads RVs and Mercury Low boats, we can get you in the great outdoors. We're a family-owned RV and marine dealer with professionally trained sales and service departments. Our staff is committed to helping you find the perfect RV or boat and keep it on the road or in the water. Wildcat RV and Marine, just off I-75 in Corbin, or online at wildcatrvandmarine.com.
If you're looking for a better night's sleep, Sammy's Furniture has the perfect mattress for you. Whether it's combining the support of an innerspring mattress with the comfort of memory foam with a Sealy hybrid, or the all-night cooling of the new Tempur-Pedic Breeze, or the unparalleled design and craftsmanship of a Stearns & Foster, Sammy's Furniture is here to help you find a mattress that won't break your back or your budget. That's Sammy's Furniture and Sleep Shop, open 7 days a week. Visit our store to find your perfect mattress today.
We've all been there, out and about, and you see someone and you just can't seem to remember their name. This happens to just about all of us, but it shouldn't with your doctor. Today it is so convenient to see a provider who doesn't know your name, let alone your medical history. Your family needs a primary care provider who knows you and meets all of your family's needs. Jane's Family Practice is now open and located on Master Street in Corbin. Stop in for school physicals, women's care, men's health screenings, regular checkups, and when you just aren't feeling your best. Call and schedule an appointment today with Jane's Family Practice at 280-4000. That's 280-4000.
Franklin County 17-7 here at the half. I'm Ronnie Bowling with Jeff Barnett and Jenny Barnett in the T107 broadcast booth. And right now we got about 2.5 minutes until we kick it back off here at Campbell Field. JB, what do the Hounds need to do to seal this one out with a win?
Well, up right here, second, moving into the second half, Hounds up 17-7. I think you just keep doing what you're doing. You don't, if it's not broke, if it's broke, don't, however that saying goes, but if it's not broke, don't fix it, or however that works.
Broke.
Yeah, exactly. So Hounds doing a great job tonight, running the football, keeping the Flyers off balance with a few throws here and there. But mainly, the defensive line has done a good job defensively and offensively on both sides of the football. So, just keep doing what you're doing. Time of possession, Hounds come out right here, have the football out of the half. So, it'd be great to see a good, long, sustained drive on time of possession. You put another touchdown on the board right out of the half, and, you're up another score. So, just keep doing what you're doing, and things should turn out well tonight for the Hounds.
There you have it. We're about a minute and a half till we kick it back off here at Campbell Field. We're going to cut away for the final commercial break at the half. We'll be back in 60 seconds. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107. Please. Yep.
I thought I had a good saying there, but I messed that up, didn't I? I thought I had a good saying, but I messed it up.
They're
State getting ready to kick off this second half right here.
Franklin County on to kick it away. It's a long end-over-end kick. Going to drive Longmire back to his own 5. Cutting back to the home sideline at the 10. Going to be tracked down from behind. Couldn't get going there. He's going to be tackled for a loss. Flags come a-flying after the play. Going to have some sort of unsportsmanlike. See how it goes here. Could be impactful early on.
Yeah, I think so. Unsportsmanlike coming for sure. And Travion not able to get some positive yardage in his shadow zone end zone. So a couple Flyers down on the tackle. Be interesting to see. Yeah, looks like it's going to be against the Flyers right here.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, the call against Franklin County. Going to bail the Red Hounds out on otherwise what was excellent kick coverage from the Flyers. He was tackled inside his own 10. By benefit of the penalty, now be marched up right around the Corbin 24-yard line.
Yeah, again, and we talked about it, from the start. We do every football game. Two of the big factors that comes in, penalties and turnovers. And right there, a tough penalty right there for the Franklin County Flyers to set the Hounds up right here on this second half of offense.
Combs and company open up in the shotgun. Twin wide receivers split out each way. Mills is his running back in the game to his left. Mills will get the call on first down. Surges through the first down. He's got a big hole on the left side at the 40. At the 50, tackled from behind. Going to be a flag down behind the play. Could see this one coming back.
Yeah, maybe
looks like it's a blocking infraction against Longmire.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe coming back right here. Again, we see Seth Mills get to the edge and, put the gas pedal down, do a good job to pick up some big yards. But I think you're right, Ronnie, going to come back right here.
Flag is thrown right in the vicinity of the 35-yard line. Of course, Mills made it up to the midfield stripe. We'll wait on the call. Whatever it was well behind the action. Defenseless penalty. That's a crackback block.
Yep. Yeah, going to cost the Hounds right here a little bit and see where the officials spot the ball. But
and they're assessing the flag against Franklin County. Maybe they'll catch on to this issue right now. Oh, they called it against the defense. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, looking at the monitor there.
I heard a defenseless penalty call, but they assessed it against Franklin County. I'm not sure what the nature of the penalty is. Nonetheless, the Hounds benefit. They now have the ball in Flyer territory down to around the 43-yard line. Gregory gets the call across the left side. He's got some running room. Going to be forced out of bounds inside the Flyer 35. Flag down on the play near the line of scrimmage. Probably going to be a hold against the Hounds.
Yeah, I think so. We thought the last call might have been a holding, but it turns out to benefit the Hounds. But right here, looks like officials going to figure it out after the Ethan Gregory run.
Indication hold against the Red Hounds. Looks like the flag was thrown around the 40. That's going to back them up a solid 10 yards.
Yeah, tough break right there. Good run around the left side by Ethan Gregory. Again, we see the Hounds run 2 or 3 plays, and they're just running the football. The Flyers had a 4-man front to start this football game. They went to the 3-man front, added a couple backers in there to try to get this Hounds running game stopped. But so far tonight, having no luck at all.
2nd and 20 from the Corbin 49. Curry and Longmire split out to the left. Stewart and Patterson to the right. Gregory, the running back, to Combs' right. Sets the throw. Rocket screen to Stewart. Gets a block at the 50. At the 40, tackled from behind by the Turf Monster. Surges ahead to the 36-yard line. Nice little gain there of 15 on the reception.
Really good job. We see that play time after time go to Dakota Patterson. I tip my hat to Dakota right there, doing a good job blocking. A lot of time he catches that football and puts the gas pedal down, but right there doing a good job blocking for his buddy right there, number 19, Carter Stewart, for a big play for the Hounds.
Sets up 3rd and 5 from the Franklin County 41. Hounds remain in the shotgun. Mills checks back in at running back. Defensive shift. Mills gets the call across the left side, cuts out, surges ahead to the 31. Should be enough for a Red Hound first down, depending on the spot.
Yeah, I think so. Officials moving the chains right here. First down Hounds. It's always good to know. I tell you, again, we talk about the running game of the Hounds. Anytime they want to, just kind of run it up in there, picking up 3, 4, 5 yards at a time. And anytime you can do that, that gets the defense in a bad way. And, right now, Franklin County Flyers, they've got to figure a way out to kind of corral the Hounds' running game.
1st and 10 from the 31. Hounds have been in this 2-by-2 set all game. That's twin wideout split out each way. Shotgun all game. Mills remains the running back. Mills gets the call. Patiently waiting for a hole. Explodes through the line of scrimmage. Inside the 20, careening towards the home sideline, dragging Flyers with him. all the way to the 16-yard line. Another 15-yard gain from Seth Mills on the handoff. Good patient running there.
Well, yeah, exactly. Patient running, smart running. It all starts up front with the big offensive line. But I always want to go up to those running backs, Ronnie. I always want to ask them, man, how do you do that? I mean, they just hit it up in there and, make a couple moves and find positive yards. And Seth Mills right there just, running to daylight and move the chains again.
1st and 10 at the Flyer, 16, same offensive set. Gregory checks in at running back. Offset to Combs' right. Handoff goes to Gregory across the left side. He'll hammer into the line of scrimmage for a gain of about 3 on the carry. 2nd and 7.
Yeah, Gregory right there. It's Smith. It's Mills left, Mills right, and then you pop Gregory in there for a couple of runs. And again, the consistent factor though, the big offensive line of the Hounds. Taking it to the Flyers right now. Great job up front.
2nd and 7 from the Franklin County 13. Hounds remain the same offensive set. Still trying the hard count. Franklin County not inclined to bite on it so far. Brief readjustment. High snap, corralled in. Handoff straight ahead to Gregory. He's going to plow into the Franklin County front. Gain of about 3 on that carry. Now brings up a very important 3rd and about 5.
Yeah, a huge 3rd down right here. Hounds trying to get into scoring range. 8:15 left in this 3rd quarter, up 17-7. But, you said it best right there. Hounds coming out, same formation, not trying to be tricky. A lot of times you see offenses come in there, they'll run different formations, but Hounds content to settle into this formation right here.
Handoff here on 3rd and long. Going to be struck down right around the 6-yard line. New running back in the game. That's Brandon Baker on the carry across the left side. Picks up about 3 or 4, not enough to convert. Brings up another 4th down here for this Red Hound offense. Timeout on the field. Looks like it may be close enough for a measurement.
An official timeout.
Yeah, I think so.
Looks like they will. Ball just shy of the 5. Going to be measured all the way over there on the home sideline, so we'll wait on the call. 7:50 remaining in the 3rd. Corbin on top 17-7, trying to extend that lead on this drive. Opening possession of the 2nd half. Chain is stretched out. 1st down, Red Hounds.
Wow, yeah, again, just hammering away, 2 yards here, 3 yards there, and I'm sure Hounds, picking up those, moving the chains, picking up the 1st down there. But, again, that offensive line, you give an MVPs tonight. You look at those running backs, hammering left, hammering right. But that big Hounds offensive line just doing a fantastic job up front for this Hounds offense.
1st and goal from the Flyer 6. Corbin chewed up about 4 minutes off the clock on its opening possession. All runs, 1 pass attempt on the drive. Hounds break the huddle. Looks like they're going to go with the Wildcat formation. Mills, the Wildcat. Reynolds checked in at the fullback. He's got 2 wide receivers. That's Longmire and Patterson. Wells snuck in at the tight end spot. Former wide receiver for the Red Hounds. Brings Longmire in motion. Fakes that handoff, now keeps it himself up the gut, walks it into the end zone for 6. Wow. Touchdown, Red Hound.
Yeah, talk about making it look easy right there. Braden Reynolds leading the charge at fullback, and just right into the teeth of the Franklin County Flyers defense, and Hounds just, have their way up front, put another touchdown on the board, and we talked about it, at halftime, Ronnie, control the time of possession, just keep doing what you're doing, and the Hounds come right out of here at halftime and, answer the bell and run the football.
Hounds do love the spread, but will not put the ball in the air until necessary. That's evident in this football game so far. Baker on to add the extra point. Snap is down. Kick is up and away. It's good. 7:37 remaining in the 3rd. Hounds extend their lead 24-7 over Franklin County. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
Hello, I'm Dr. Deidre Pennington, and I invite you to discover the difference at Pennington Wellness, Chiropractic, and Massage. We offer digital x-ray with instant imaging for the most specific solution to your problem. The Atlas orthogonal technique offers a gentle and precise adjustment with no twisting of the neck or spine. Pennington Wellness has a friendly staff and relaxing spa-like atmosphere.
Trust our Grammy. We do.
To his touchdown total, punching it in from 3 yards out of the Wildcat formation to extend this Red Hound lead. I'm Ronnie Bowling with Jeff Barnett and Jenny Barnett in the T107 broadcast booth. And right now, we talked about it at the half, JB, the Red Hound offensive line really dictating the pace and tempo of this football game.
Yes, exactly. And, we talked about the athletes on the side of Franklin County. What did the Hounds need to do? They needed to slow the football game down a little bit, play it there at the Hounds' pace, and they've done just that. And just playing a really good football game, perfect football game so far tonight.
Baker on to kick it away. High end over end kick, going to drive that one out of the back of the end zone for the touchback. Have been kicking the high end over end kicks in the field of play, but that was not too fruitful. Caden Moorman, stud running back out of Franklin County, took that down inside the Red Hound 30, so you'll probably see this ball sail out of the back of the end zone for the remainder of the game.
I would think so. The Hounds were kicking that high kick, like you said, Ronnie, but after Moorman had his way on that last kickoff return, Hound said, none of that. Let's just kick it out, play the touchback, and reset this defense right here.
I'd say that's a safe decision. Let's not Caden Moorman the football in open field.
That's
probably
right.
a safe bet.
That's right.
Madison takes over 1st and 10 on his own 20. Shotgun formation, 3 wide receivers. Handoff goes to Moorman towards the away sideline. Not a lot of running room there. He's going to be gobbled up at the line of scrimmage.
I tell ya.
Forward progress gives him a yard on the carry. 2nd and 9 for this Franklin County unit.
Again, Joe Brown right there setting the edge, playing that defensive end spot. Number 40, Mikey Neal, coming up as well defensively and just closing the door in a hurry. So Hounds doing a great job defensively in the front as well.
4 wide, they're stacked on top of each other. Twin wide out split all the way to the numbers, ball on the left hash. Madison and Moorman alone in the backfield, offset to his right. High snap, it's corralled, handoff straight ahead to Moorman. Got some running room at the 30. Hit and upended. Long carry all the way up to his own 42-yard line. Gain of about 15 on the carry. That's enough for a first down, Franklin County.
Yeah, look like Bryson Batt and number 4, Brody Wells coming up to make the hit. But again, Flowers moving quick right here.
1st and 10, another high snap, another play up the gut to Moorman. He's going to surge ahead. A meeting of the teams right around the 45-yard line, going to blow it dead after a gain of about 8 or 9 on the carry. Now Moorman starting to get some traction.
Yeah, I think so. Flowers just kind of starting to run right at the teeth of the Hounds defense. So again, let's see if the Hounds can make an adjustment.
Kind of what Corbin was doing offensively. Franklin County spreading these receivers out really wide, stretching this defense kind of thin. Madison fires the screen out in the flat. Wow. He's going to be crushed in the flat. Who else? Evan Poore coming up, laying the wood from his corner spot. He got decleated.
A big, huge hit right there. We've seen that time and time again. If you throw the rocket screen in the neighborhood of Evan Poore, you're going to pay the price. And right there, Evan Poore coming up with a huge hit on the receiver for the Flyers.
Said it time and time again. Evan Poore is a safety playing corner.
Yes, exactly. He can lay the wood to you. And I'll tell you what, every time the ball is in his vicinity, he doesn't disappoint.
3rd and 2, pistol set for the Flyers. Straight ahead handoff. Got the first down. Plows ahead up to his own 49-yard line. That's Moorman on the carry. Enough to move the sticks for first down, Franklin County.
It looked like Mikey Neal coming up making the hit right there, but you're right, moving the chains a little bit. And the Flyers offensively kind of got a little something going. Hounds up there with their big front 4 defensive line, a couple backers in there, Mikey Neal and number 23, Brandon Baker. So, you may look for the Hounds to try to put a little more pressure, try to maybe batten down the hatches, if you will, trying to shut down Moorman, the running back.
1st and 10 at the Flyer 49, 3 wide and a tight end checked into the football game. Fakes the screen, now looking for the wheel. He'll check it down in the flat. He gets leveled again. Hauled in and caught at the line of scrimmage, but he takes a licking for it.
Yeah, exactly. Again, you think Evan Poor, well, right there, Brody Wells, number 4, gets in the game, so makes a big hit again. So anytime you throw those rocket screens against these Hounds, outside backers, strong safeties, corners, they're going to hit you good. And right there, two back-to-back hits in 3 or 4 plays right there. Great job by the Hounds defense.
Flyers empty the backfield on second down. Trips to the right, Twins to the left. Madison's in the shotgun. Pump fake, quarterback draw up the gut across the 50 to the 45. Upended at the Red Hound 42-yard line. Going to be very close to first down yardage here. Again, probably the third time this game, depends on the spot whether he converted.
It looks like maybe
multiple players down.
Yeah, a couple players down. Can't get the number for the Flyers, but bad pain right there. And then the Hounds defender, I didn't get his number as well, but just popped up and off the field. But right now, Flyers offensive player down right now.
I think that's the quarterback, Jaden Madison. Second time he's been shaking up this contest. Walking a little gingerly over to his sideline, but leaving the field of play under his own power.
Yeah, good to see that. You always want guys to be okay. And right there, Madison, coming off for a play or two. I'm sure he'll be back in the action really soon. But, again, the Flyers from Franklin County kind of finding their way a little bit, down 24-7 with 4:50 left in this third quarter.
Credit my terrible depth perception. That was enough for a first down. Flyers going to go out of the Wildcat look. Mormon got 3 running backs in front of him. High snap over his head. Football's on the ground. He picks it up and falls on it on his own 45-yard line. Big loss there. Could not corral the snap. Seen a snap exchange issue on this drive. Haven't seen it so far in the football game, but it's really cost the Flyers in terms of timing and, of course, on that play, yardage.
Yeah, a big play right there for the Hounds defense in the fumble exchange. And seeing number 11, Jaden Madison, the quarterback, coming in, with a little bit of a limp right here. So, brings up a second and long, second and 24. So Hounds defense kind of looking to get the stop right here in this third quarter.
Some confusion amongst Franklin County. They're going to check in a new offensive player at the guard position. Tripp split out to Madison's right. He's in the gun, takes the snap, sets the throw, sets to fire. Fires a duck in the air. It's going to be picked off by Jacob Baker at the 30, at the 40. Finally drugged down from behind at his own 45-yard line. Second turnover forced by this Red Hound defense tonight.
Hey, defense playing lights out tonight. Jacob Baker just kind of playing center field, if you will, and the quarterback for the Flyers, Jaden Madison, just kind of throws it up, and Jacob Baker sitting right there to catch the football and goes the other way. So really, really good job by the Hounds defense getting the turnover. And again, I think that's 2 turnovers tonight. So for the Flyers. So good job right there by the Hounds defense to get this football right back.
Mills shaken up on the play. I don't think he was on the field of play. I think he cramped as he was re-entering the field of play. You got to feel for Madison there. I don't think he's got full use of his legs, and I don't think he could get his legs underneath the throw. He's playing right now visibly limping.
Yeah, exactly. Good point right there. We saw him, come off the field with an injury, and then he goes back, after one play. And Madison, not able to set his feet, not able to make a great throw like he usually does. So Hounds, again, take advantage, and free safety Jacob Baker takes advantage of the missed throw right there and gets the turnover for the Hounds offense.
Corbin will take over 1st and 10 on their own 45-yard line. 3:42 remaining in the third. Hounds lead 24-7. Combs and company operate out of the shotgun. 4 wide receivers, 2 each way. Gregory checked in at running back to his right. Low snap, digs it out of the dirt, sets the throw, climbs the pocket, fires over the middle. He's got Patterson at the 50. At the 45, spins ahead to the 43-yard line. That's a gain of 12 on the pitch and catch. That's enough for a Red Hound first down.
Yeah, really good job right there. Dakota Patterson running a really good route across the middle. I'm sure he's caught some eyes with the Tennessee scout and the UK scout sitting in the stands tonight. And then Cam Combs sets up with great protection again behind the offensive line and delivers a strike to move the chains for the Hounds offense.
Flyers go back to the 4-man front, have been resting in the 3-man front. 6 in the box as Hounds go with 4 wide receivers. Gregory remains in at running back. Now they check back to 3-man front. Gregory gets the call up the gut, now bounces to the left side. Flag down on the play as he barrels out of bounds right around the 25-yard line. 2 flags down on the play, one back at the line of scrimmage. Usually indicates a hold against the offensive line.
Yeah, it looks like this run might be coming back, but again, just Ethan Gregory, Seth Mills and company just having their way running the football behind that big Red Hound wall. And, Ethan Gregory, getting out to that left side, picking up some positive yards. But you're right, Ronnie, this one's definitely coming back.
Holding is the call. Going to be assessed right around the line of scrimmage, so this will make what was a 1st and 10 down in Flyer territory, now 1st and 20, the wrong side of the 50-yard line.
Yeah, wrong side of the 50-yard line, and, it's the Hounds are moved back. It's not an expensive cab ride, but like you said a minute ago, a cheap cab ride to pick up that first down.
1st and 22 from the Red Hound 45. Combs in the gun, sets the throw. They bring the blitz. He's under pressure, fires down to Gregory in the flat, can't haul it in. On the check down, good heads-up play to get rid of the football there, but there was a heavy surge of Flyers on his neck.
Yeah, exactly. The Flyers, like you said, brought the blitz right there, got a little pressure off that right side, and Cam Combs buying some time in the pocket, kind of floating a little bit, but, misfires a little bit, and Gregory not able to come up the football, but really good job right there by junior Cam Combs to at least reset right here on 2nd down.
Interesting call here. You see defensively, when Mills checks out of the game, Corbin, of course, a lot more towards the pass. That's when you've seen Franklin County bring the blitz. See what they'll do here on 2nd and 22. 4 wide receivers on the field, bring the blitz again, fakes the handoff, fires over the middle, trying to find Xander Curry. In and out of his hands, incomplete.
Yeah, you called it right there. Blitz coming off on that side right there, and Cam Combs able to kind of stand down the gun barrel and try to deliver a football, but Franklin County defender looked like number 8, Brenton Sears, playing pretty good coverage on Xander Curry. So, right here, 3rd and 22, and 2:51 left in this 3rd quarter. Hounds with the lead, 24-7.
3rd and 22, not a lot of plays in the old playbook to convert this down and distance. Combs in the gun, takes the snap, Flyers bring the blitz. He'll check it down to his running back in the flats. In and out of his hands, incomplete, brings up 4th down. Hounds will have to punt it away for the first time tonight.
Yeah, exactly, and, I'm sure Jacob Baker, coming on to punt the football away. First punt of the night, like you said, Ronnie, and any time that you're punting the ball for the first time with 2 minutes 47 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, you're having a good night. So Jacob Baker right here looking to punt it away for the Hounds.
Baker has punted 1 time this season. Covered 50 yards, pinned inside the 5. We'll see what he does with this one. Kicking from the 50. Takes the snap, puts the toe to it. It's high, got hang time, not a lot of distance, hits and takes a Red Hound bounce. Going to be fielded at the 18. Makes a spin, gets clobbered at the 24-yard line. Nice kick there. Baker trying to corral it on the bounce. It was fielded, though. Got a shaken up Red Hound. Looks like number 15, Evan Poore, shaken up on the play. There was quite a collision there at the end of that return.
Yeah, if Evan Poore's involved, there's going to be a big collision. And, sometimes, you get a little bit of the worst for it. But right there, Nate Grigsby as well, hustling down to make a hit to tackle the punt returner for the Flyers. So, again, 2:36 right here in this 3rd quarter. Hounds with a pretty good lead. The Hounds defense, Coach Greer and company, you want to keep things in front of you. You don't want a big play to happen right here. Make the Flyers, if they're going to have a drive, make the Flyers take their time, use a lot of clock right here late in this 3rd quarter.
Right now, the interesting thing is the trainers tend to Evan Poore. Right now, it looks like Madison obviously injured somewhere in the lower half of his body, affecting his ability to get a full range of his power behind his throws. I mean, I don't think it was just a bad throw or a bad decision. He's made good throws all night.
Yes.
I think it's obviously he is hurting on the lower half of his body. That affects your ability to throw the long ball.
It does. It affects your ability to kind of set your feet, make a good throw, and we saw it just a minute ago when the Hounds were able to come up with the interception right there. But, and also, we've seen the Flyers, spread the ball out, empty sets, and then run Madison, so right up the middle. So that may take that away as well. So, look for the Hounds defense kind of settle in, really zero in right here with that injury, really zero in on number 10, Caden Mormon, the running back for the Flyers.
He in and of himself is a problem.
That's right. That's right. Great football player right there for the Flyers.
1st and 10 from the Flyer 24. Madison in the shotgun. Brings a receiver in motion. Now a handoff to the receiver on the jet sweep action, trying to find some wiggle room near the home sideline. Flag down on the play. He's going to be upended right around the 30-yard line. We'll see what the penalty flag is.
The official's going to sort it out right here.
Preliminary indication, holding against the Flyers. I'll tell you, every time you've seen a run to the boundary, even on both squads, you've seen the penalty flags come a-flying. They're calling it tight.
Yeah, exactly. Good point right there. I'm not sure if it's just, both these teams are, very, very athletic, and a lot of times when you run that ball on the edges, a lot of times maybe, you got to grab cloth a little bit, and you're right. Every time, they've run outside, the flags have come flying on both sides of the football for the Hounds and the Flyers.
Sometimes you either played offensive line or you haven't.
That's right.
From the ref spot.
That's right.
Sometimes there's sympathy on the grab, and sometimes there's not. But
that's right.
Both teams piling up the penalties in the holding department. 1st and 20 from the Flyer 14. Pistol formation. Mormon behind his quarterback. Fullback checked into the left. Straight ahead give to Mormon. Trying to find some running room across that right side. Going to be brought to rest around the 20-yard line. Pick up a 6 on the first down carry. Still 1st, 2nd, and very long to go.
Yeah, 2nd long right here. Looked like Braden Reynolds on the tackle. Looked like also Carter Severe as well. And, just watching a little bit of film on Mormon, just a great running back. Hits the hole hard, doesn't go down on that first contact. So, the Flyers know what they have in Mormon. Everybody in the state knows who Mormon is. So, a great running back for the Flyers, and just picked up a few right there on 1st down.
2nd and 14. Stack receivers split out each side. Mormon going to take it on the counter tray, heading towards his own sideline. Not a lot of running room there. Going to be pounded down to the ground by a pack of Hounds.
Yeah, really good job right there. Brody Wells, and a bunch of Hounds, just kind of Mormon trying to get into the edge, and Brody Wells coming up, making that initial contact, and then, a lot of Hounds. You always say you want to have 11 tacklers on the football, and the Hounds defense just kind of swarming tonight. And, we talked about the high-powered offense of the Flyers run. They got 7 points with the 3rd quarter ending. That's just great defense by the Hounds tonight.
3rd and long as we're under a minute to play here in the 3rd quarter. Hounds up 24-7. Mormon going to be reset to the left. Tied in the football game. 3 wide receivers split out wide. Twins to the left as well. Madison sets the throw. Flyers got a receiver on the drag route. Not a lot there. He's going to be pounded down to the ground. Brings up 4th down and more than 10 to go.
Yeah, exactly. And we've called number 9 Bryson Batt's name more than once, that's for sure. And, anything that's run over towards Bryson Batt, he's going to make a play. Did right there. And, again, as this 3rd quarter winds down, looks like the Flyers are going to move into this 4th quarter right here.
Flyers content to let the quarter expire, so 3 in the books and 1 to go. Hounds on top, 24-7. We'll be back with 4th quarter action in 60 seconds. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
Summer is here, and the deal on the iPhone 12 mini just got even hotter at Appalachian Wireless. The iPhone 12 mini comes with massive features and is the perfect pocket size. Best of all, Appalachian Wireless is offering the iPhone 12 mini for just 1 penny with a 2-year contract. Good things do come in small packages, and it's the iPhone 12 mini on the region's best network. But don't wait. This deal won't last long. We are you. We are Appalachian Wireless.
What's up, y'all? This is Chase Rice hanging outdoors with an ice-cold Mountain Dew. It's easy to tell who really loves the outdoors. For one thing, there's a rack on your car and a hitch on the back of your truck. There's a garage full of toys from wakeboards to dirt bikes. And there's a cooler full of Mountain Dew, always at the ready. Because when it's time to get out and do, hit the lake or the deer stand, a cooler of Mountain Dew, that's as important a piece of outdoor gear as your four-wheeler or your fishing rod. Mountain Dew. Do the do.
24-7 over the visiting Franklin County Flyers. Ronnie Bowling with Jeff Barnett and Jenny Barnett in the T107 broadcast booth. Here on 4th down, Franklin County lined up to punt it away. Stewart standing on his own 50-yard line looking to field the punt. Snap is out. Hounds bring some pressure. It's an end-over-end kick. He lets it sail over his head, lands at the 50, takes a neutral bounce, going to be killed right at the midfield stripe. So excellent starting field position for Corbin. They're going to take over 1st and 10 right at the 50.
Yeah, really good job by the Hounds defense. Kind of, we talk about it a lot of times, flipping the field. And, Hounds did a great job defensively to get the football back right at the 50-yard line for the Hounds offense. And, we talked about at halftime, what do the Hounds need to do to win the football game? Just keep doing what you're doing, run the football. I'm sure right here coming out to start this fourth quarter, Coach Elam, offense coordinator, going to be content to pound the football, see if the Hounds can keep running this football towards the end zone.
Combs opens up in the shotgun. Gregory will be his running back, offset to his left. 4 wide receivers on the field. Gregory gets the call up the middle, busts open a huge hole at the 40, barrels ahead inside the 35, finally brought to rest at the Franklin County 33-yard line. Gain of about 17 on the carry from Gregory.
Yeah, good run right there by Gregory, and you talked about it right out of the gate out of halftime, Ronnie, how the Hounds are just sitting in the same formation, just that one back set, 2 receivers on each side, and just saying stop us if you can, and Hounds doing a great job so far.
1st and 10 at the Flyer 33. 2-by-2 set. Stewart, Patterson, Curry, and Longmire all split out wide. Gregory remains in at running back. Gregory gets the call again, hammering away into this front, dragging Flyers with him down to the 25-yard line. Flag on the play. Back at the original line of scrimmage, thrown by the line judge. Travion comes up clapping, so it could be against Franklin County.
Yeah, maybe against Franklin County. Yeah, you're right, Travion clapping, so could be another flag against the Franklin County Flyers. And again, Hounds just pound in the middle, controlling the line of scrimmage.
Officials confer right around the football. We'll get you the call when we have it. Unsportsmanlike conduct going against Franklin County. Second time that one's been thrown on the Flyers.
Yeah, exactly. And, we've talked about how the Hounds have kind of wore down teams, the first couple weeks of the season. And, 11 minutes and 12 seconds in this fourth quarter. Looks almost like to me after the first couple of downs right here, Hounds almost starting to, kind of wear down the Flyers from Franklin County.
Mark off 15. That'll march the ball down into the red zone. It's 1st and 10 down at Franklin County's 13-yard line. Four wide continues to be the set. Gregory reset to the left. Gregory gets the call. Gets hit in the backfield, keeps plowing ahead. Might have got back to the original line of scrimmage, looking like no gain on the play.
Yeah, not much right there on the game from Gregory, but again, the Hounds just pounding away. Just good to see. You look at that offensive line, you stand next to Franklin West up there and a couple of the Hounds, number 61 up in there, Hunter Heath as well, and, we can call the names all night long, man. Those are big guys, and they move big people, and, the Hounds offensive line just hammering away up front right now on the Flyer defensive front.
Brandon Baker checking in at running back. Hounds now starting to get into kill clock mode. 10 seconds on the play clock. Down to 5 as Combs sets up. Gets the snap off in time. Give to Baker across the left side. Puts his foot in the dirt, makes a man miss inside the 10. Down to the 8. Might have picked up 3 or 4 on the carry. Now it's 3rd and medium.
Yeah, good little run right there off that left side, and picking up those 2 or 3 yards, and brings up that 3rd down. But again, number 61 Hunter Heath up in there, number 67 Eli Bolton up in there, 64 Ethan Goforth, Big Frank up in there, number 75 Tucker Burns. So just some big guys up in that offensive line for the Hounds tonight.
Baker remains in at running back. Hounds continuing to kill clock down inside 10 minutes now. Fakes the handoff. Now looking to throw. Rolling to his right. Track down from behind. Going to eat the sack. Elected not to throw out in coverage. Slung down in the backfield. I think that's intentional there. That's still a good heads-up play, but brings up 4th down. Probably Hounds look to kick it away here.
Yeah, I think so. Looks like Jacob Baker coming on, maybe to try the field goal. And, yeah, you're right, Ronnie. Good play by Cam Combs, the quarterback, kind of rolling out to the right side, not seeing anything, and just kind of, eating the ball, if you will. So Cam Combs played a great football game tonight, with that injury. And, Coach Elam's called a great football game as well, doing a good job to keep Cam Combs out of harm's way.
Baker on for the field goal try. Puts the toe to it. It's got the distance. And it's good. 8:39 remaining in the 4th. Hounds extend their lead 27-7. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
What's your favorite thing about football time in Corbin? The hometown pride, the sound of the cannon that echoes through downtown Corbin with every point scored? Or is it the tradition of taking your family to Mi Casa before the game? In Corbin, it's all about tradition, and that's what you can count on at Mi Casa Mexican Restaurant. A family-friendly, delicious meal with every visit. Stop in and enjoy their patio and weekly specials. Good luck and go Hounds from Mi Casa of Corbin.
8:36 remaining in the football game. Hounds extend their lead 27-7 over the Franklin County Flyers. I'm Ronnie Bowling with Jeff Barnett and Jenny Barnett in the T107 broadcast booth, and this score probably going to come as a shock across the state. This was booked to be game of the week in the Commonwealth.
That's right.
And the Hounds shellacking Franklin County
now. Dominating all facets of the football game, even when we, in the kicking game. Jacob Baker, Mr. Automatic. So
that's two more for him tonight.
That's right. It'll definitely send shockwaves through the state of Kentucky tonight after this football game.
Baker's on to kick it away. Ball teed up, blown into play, puts the toe to it. It's another long, high driving kick out of the back of the end zone for the touchback. Corbin again. They are not going to kick to Mormon again, I promise.
No. And, you keep wondering, and of course we're not for it, but every now and then he might mess up, but he's just, everything's perfect. Punts, kickoffs, touchbacks, field goals, setting the record, in the varsity club Pigskin Classic. So, I mean, just I heard a word the other day. I didn't know if we should, say it on the air, but they've starting to call him Legatron.
Legatron.
Yeah, so wow. I don't know how that ties in, but, man, I tell you, just really good job, Jacob Baker.
Franklin County taking over 1st and 10 on their own 20 after the touchback. They're going to take the field with twin wideouts each way. Mormon, the lone running back in the backfield. High snap. Madison throws out in the flats. Going to be crushed. Wow. No gain on the play.
Yeah, number 8, Tate Reams coming in there playing hard and just coming up making a hit. Or, excuse me, number 9, Bryson Batt, and coming in there. And anytime, the Flyers have tried those rocket screens, they paid the price every single time. Bryson Batt, Evan Poor, just coming up making big hits on the outside.
Actually, I guess he caught it further down the field. Sets up 2nd and 8. Wild formation, trip stack to the high side of the field. 2 running backs in the backfield. Play action. Madison sets the throw. Got some happy feet. Looks to just throw it away. That could be grounding. And there it goes. Grounding.
Yeah.
Flag called. Corbin was pleading for the penalty. That could be against Corbin for arguing with the officiating, though.
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah, pointing towards the Hounds. You may be right there. But I thought, the Hounds were going to get the grounding call, but I believe you're right, Ronnie. I think you're right.
Should have. In definition in high school,
yes,
it's not whether you're outside the tackle box.
That's right.
It's not whether you get to the line of scrimmage. It's whether the quarterback intentionally discarded the football with intent to avoid a sack or a penalty. And by definition, that was all 3.
Yes, exactly. I think about as obvious you could get right there. That's right.
Intentional grounding going to be the call. Carter Severe correctly pleads the case for the Hounds and picks the penalty.
Yes, exactly. Carter Severe doing a great job kind of separating from the tackle, the right tackle, doing a good job putting pressure on the quarterback and then forcing the grounding call. So, also brings up a 3rd down right here.
Yep,
so,
loss of down.
Yeah, exactly. So, Hounds defense just, putting their hand in the dirt, rushing the passer again, and right here on 3rd and long.
27-7, Franklin in pass-only mode pretty much at this point. 3rd and 12. Madison back to throw. Looks like a screen. Pump fakes for the screen. Now directs traffic downfield. He's got Mormon. Hauls it in at the 25. Gets peppered down to the turf at the 26. Shy of the first down marker. Another flag down on the play across the way on the home sideline.
Yeah,
probably be an eligible receiver downfield.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he biding time back there. Madison, the quarterback, biding time, and a lot of times when that happens, one of the linemen gets downfield. But Mormon limping again, the running back for the Flyers, after the hit by Braden Reynolds on defense. So see what the officials come up with right here.
Yeah, I'd be limping too. Ineligible is going to be the call.
That's right. You called it right there.
Tried to set up the screen. That was well defended. He directed his running back out of harm's way, but unfortunately the linemen were too far down to be throwing the football vertically.
Yeah, and you mentioned it earlier, Ronnie, talking about the Hounds defense, you know, just playing fundamental football, and they've done that all night long. You know, you throw a screen, they stop it right there. You throw a ball deep, they stop it. You try to run, of course, the Hounds defensive line playing great up front. So, you know, just Hounds have been all over the place playing really good defense tonight.
Corbin accepts the penalty, sets up 3rd and 19. Madison remains in the shotgun, 4 wide receivers. Sets in the pocket to throw, pump fake. Now throws it to his running back on the check down. He fields it at the goal line. Now going to reverse field. Trying to find some room at the 10, does so. Finally brought to rest right around the 18-yard line. He's still short of the original line of scrimmage. Now brings up 4th and about 12.
Yeah, a lot of Mormon kind of getting up a little slow again right there. Joe Brown, Bryson Batt combining for the tackle and the big hit. And, you know, Mormon, the great running back for the Flyers, has took a lot of hits tonight. And we've talked about that in the first couple games of the season and this game as well. When you run the football, you catch a pass against the Hounds defense, you are going to get hit. And the Hounds have definitely done that again tonight in this 3rd game of the season.
Flyers will bring on their punting unit here on 4th down. Stewart stands on his own 50-yard line, awaiting to receive the punt. Snap is down. Corbin will rush no one. Shanks the kick. Rockets it towards the away sideline. Lands at his own 40. Careens out of bounds at the Flyer 43. So not a lot, about a net of 23 yards on the punt. Didn't exactly flip field position there. Corbin now in a position to put this one away.
Yeah, I think so right here. 6:48 left in the football game, up 27-7. And, you know, we've talked about field position. We've talked about time of possession. And, you know, for most of the football game, you know, the Hounds have had great field position and, you know, kind of owned the time of possession, if you will. So, you know, just, you know, beating up on the Flyers from Franklin County about any way they want to, especially right here in this 4th quarter.
1st and 10 at the Franklin 43. Combs in the gun. Gregory's his running back. Offset to the right. 4 wide receivers on the field. Gregory gets the call straight ahead inside the 40. Brought to rest at the 39. Gain of 4 on the carry. 2nd and 6 for this Corbin offense. Clock continuing to run inside 6:30.
Yeah, clock just, you know, kind of chunking down right there. And, again, we see, you know, Ethan Gregory coming up, you know, a 4 or 5 yard run here. Another, we've talked about it all night long, 3 or 4 there. And Franklin County defense just unable to stop the run at all. And Hounds just content to run the football, let the play clock, you know, run inside, run down close to 0 before they snap this football.
6 minutes and change. Corbin up 27-7, driving with the football at the Franklin 39. Same offensive set they've been in all night. Twin wideouts each side. Combs hands off to Baker. Baker's got some running room. He's got the 1st down. He's got more. All the way down to the Flyer 29-yard line. Gain of 10 on the carry from Brandon Baker. That's enough to move the sticks.
Yeah, again, just another run right there. You know, Brandon Baker, Ethan Gregory, Seth Mills, whoever you put back there behind that big offensive line. I know I've said it a bunch tonight, but I tell you what, just, you know, having their way up front, just hammering away. And, you know, you look at the defensive front, the Flyers have went with 4 men. They went with 3 men, you know, different linebackers, but in there, different formations, but just unable to handle the running game for the Hounds tonight.
Official timeout on the field, resetting the play clock. .541 clock continues to burn. 27-7 your score. Hounds up big. Dominant performance tonight, offensively and defensively. From the bunch in red. Combs in the gun, inside 10 seconds on the play clock. Going to hand off to Baker across the right side, puts his foot in the dirt. No running room there. Going to be brought to rest right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the carry.
Yeah, not much up in there. Right there, Brandon Baker, number 23 for the Hounds, kind of taking it off that right side and kind of getting bottled up a little bit there. But one of the very few times that we've seen tonight that, the Hounds have not able to get positive yardage. We've seen those little runs, those big runs, and, just doing a really good job offensively. With time of possession, holding the football, not a lot of penalties. Had a couple, but not a lot of penalties, and just playing really good fundamental football tonight.
Baker going to remain the running back for the Hounds. He's offset to Combs' right in the gun. Handoff going to Baker. He's going to plow ahead inside the 25. Gain of about 6 on the carry. Boy, he didn't get touched until about the 6. This whole line of scrimmage is moving.
Yes, it is, and it's moving towards the end zone, and that's what you want, if you're the Hounds offense. And you're right, just not even touched till 4 and 5 yards into almost the second level, into the linebacker level. And, if you get in trouble, though, third down, you don't pick it up, what do? You kick your field goal. That's right, take your 3 points and move on. So
3rd and 5. Corbin going to keep it on the ground with Baker. Plowing ahead. Spins off a tackle down inside the 20. That's enough for a first down. All the way down to the Franklin County 17. Gain of 7 on the carry.
Yeah, first down. Looks like moving the chains again. Inside 4 minutes right here. Hounds with the big lead, 27-7 in the fourth quarter. And, again, Coach Elam just really calling a perfect game tonight. Cam Combs coming in there off the injury. And, you don't want to call on him to run the football. So, you got Seth Mills, Brandon Baker, Ethan Gregory hammering up in there, just doing a great job.
3:30 remaining in the contest. Corbin letting that clock dwindle down. And Corbin's up by 20 right now, 27-7. Baker gets the call again, puts his foot in the dirt. Trying to find a little wiggle room. Finally surges up to the 14, gain of 3 on the carry from Baker.
A good run again by Baker. Another thing we've noticed tonight, and we've talked a little bit about it, is how the running backs, Gregory, Baker, Seth Mills, all being really patient, just waiting for those holes to open up, being patient behind that big offensive line, and not rushing anything, having good vision, get behind, the shoulder pads, and then when they get there, they finish the runs, always going forward, always running, finish the ball carrier going forward. So really good job by the running backs as well.
2nd and about 8. Gregory in the game. Ball is out. Recovered by the big man. He's rumbling and stumbling ahead. Franklin County forces the turnover. Brought to rest at the Flyer 25-yard line where Franklin will take over.
Yeah, exactly. You said big man. Number 51, Kevin Graves, comes up with the football. And I tell you what, just a huge fella in the middle.
That's a lot of dude.
Exactly. Big run stuffer in there. And, finds a nugget in there and comes out with it running. So, again, it's 2:27 left in this football game in the fourth quarter. Hounds big lead 27-7. And, the first little chink in the armor, it comes with 2:27 left in this football game.
Unfortunately, the fumble streak continues. Corbin has put the ball on the ground 3 consecutive games. Madison takes over 1st and 10 on zone 24. High snap, play's going to be blown dead. Flag down on the play. False start the call against Franklin. Back it up 5, 1st and 15.
Yeah, penalty coming out right there. Looks like may have a new quarterback in the game trying to get that number. 14, okay, 14. Tyler Broyles in the game for Franklin County.
Hand off. Trying to find some running room, reverses course, and does find some. Mormon still trudging ahead, finally going to be brought to rest at the 40. Gain of about 21 from Mormon. Going to be enough for a first down, Franklin County.
Yeah, Bryson back coming up to make the hit right there. And Carter Sevier doing a good job to set the edge and turn Mormon back the other way. And looks like we've got another Franklin County player down right now.
Shaking up flyer on the play. Timeout on the field. We'll keep it right here. We got 2 minutes of action left until this one's in the books. Corbin looking to improve to 3-0 on the season. It's been a tough 3 games. Corbin has weathered ahead, though. Going to surge into next week. Going to be on the road, taking on a very good Pulaski County team. The Maroons, they blasted Belfry in the season opener.
That's right.
Don't know what's going on over there, but it looks like another tough game on this Red Hound schedule.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we saw the Hounds open up with Christ School from North Carolina, won the state championship last year, get the win. Then, cruise into Whitley County last week, get the big win. And then right here, runner-up in the state last year, the Franklin County Flyers, and handing it to them. So Hounds with a tough schedule, but that's all Coach Greer wants, that's for sure.
High snap over the head of the quarterback. He'll retreat and fall on it inside his 30-yard line.
Yeah, tough break right there on the snap. And, you're talking about that schedule, Ronnie, with Pulaski County next week. And that's what, that's what the Hounds have always done. It's, had tough schedules. The Hounds believe, you play those tough games early, you build to the playoffs. And, you couldn't get any tougher schedule that the Hounds have faced so far and moving into next week. So, big wins. Great to be 3-0 after this clock kicks to 0 right here with 1:23 left in the fourth quarter.
2nd and 21 after the bad snap. Franklin, of course, they've subbed down, got some reserves in the football game, not in an immediate hurry. Clock is again stopped. Good grief.
Yeah, looking for the clock to get going towards 0. That's right.
Both teams do, let's be honest here.
Exactly, that's right.
Finally blown back into play. Minute 20 and winding down. Broyles, the backup quarterback, in action for the Flyers. 2nd and 21, operating out of the shotgun. Another high snap, but he corrals it, hands off to the running back, bends it up against the grain of the defense, and not a lot of wiggle room there. He's going to be wrestled down after a gain of a yard or so up to the 30-yard line. We're inside 1 minute to play in the contest.
Yeah, 1 minute right here to go. Clock kicking towards 0. Looks like Braden Reynolds inside coming up with a hit. Carter Sevier as well. And, the Hounds still, moving in this clock kicking down to 0, still playing great defense and just really shutting down the Flyers.
3rd and long. Flyers remain in the gun. He's electing to run the football here. Trying to bounce towards the away sideline. Shakes one tackle, but not another. Hit at the 35, pounded down inside the 30. Didn't get back to the original line of scrimmage, and that's going to be enough to put this one in the books.
Yeah, I think so. Both teams heading to the sideline. So, Hounds move to 3-0. Huge win right here for the Hounds tonight.
That wraps up this one here at Campbell Field. Hounds play host to their toughest opponent of the season, and they dispense them with ease. Your final score going to be 27-7 here at Campbell Field. And JB, the Hounds again, another flawless performance from the trenches and from all departments. This Red Hound unit going to be a tough out in the fall.
Oh, exactly. Hounds sitting right where they want to be, moving 3 weeks into this season at 3-0. And, you talked about it early in the pregame. Coach Greer knew that the offense and defensive line would take the Hounds as far as they wanted to go. And so far tonight and so far through this season, offensive line, defensive line has played lights out. And to even prove the point, it doesn't seem who you put at quarterback. You got Cade Elam in there, he has success. You got Cam Combs, he has success. The running backs, Brandon Baker, Ethan Gregory, Seth Mills, just, big success. So, to me, the offense, defensive line, just, playing lights out tonight.
Folks, there you have it. Next week, Corbin going to be on the road taking on the Maroons of Pulaski County. We'll be kicking this one off at 7:30 on your radio dial on T107 and T1073.com for the listen. Thanks for tuning in. Again, JB, thanks for all the expert color commentary. Thank you, Jenny, for the stats. Thanks to everybody back at the station. I'm Ronnie Bowling. Again, Corbin wins 27-7 tonight over Franklin County. This has been Red Hound Football on T107.